You're watching Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the UFC, NASCAR, the UEFA Champions League Final, the Big Ten Championship, and Super Bowl 48. The world's biggest events are on Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports!
Tonight, one of these drivers can grab win number 3, while these drivers are searching for their first victory of the season. Frustration is mounting.
How about just drive the damn thing?
And fines and penalties are rising. It's Richmond. America's best behind the wheel are in the spotlight under the primetime lights for 300 miles.
Get behind you.
We welcome you to the NASCAR on Fox pre-race show. The 9th race of the year. It's the quarter pole of the season, and the place, Richmond, Virginia. When you squeeze 43 drivers into a 3/4 mile track, you just never know what you're going to end up with. The weather ideal this evening, temperature in the 60s, and no rain in the forecast. Our studio is on the scene, and we're glad you're with us. Darrell Waltrip, Michael Waltrip, I'm Chris Myers, and a big night of racing ahead with some heavy penalties and some headline drivers. It's been the story the last couple of weeks. Are drivers pushing the envelope toward the rules? Is NASCAR enforcing the rules more?
Chris, this is the NASCAR I love. This is the NASCAR that fans love. I've never seen, the drivers are pushing each other. The teams are pushing the rules. I've never seen this much passion out of these teams and these drivers as I'm seeing right now on the racetrack every week.
Passion or cheating here? Come on.
It's okay to push the rules. I want to push the rules. This is the most competitive racing in the world. These guys have to push it to the edge. But it doesn't matter who you are. Whether you're last year's champion, Brad Keselowski, and you had illegal parts under your rear end at Texas, or you're last week's race winner, Matt Kenseth at Kansas, with illegal parts under his hood, NASCAR is going to react.
Used to be if it wasn't in the rule book, you were okay. Now you got to ask and make sure it's within the rule book, and that is our storyline. Matt Kenseth won in Kansas, was on the pole. He's on the pole tonight, by the way, but his engine failed post-race inspection. He was docked 50 points. His crew chief, Jason Radcliffe, also suspended and fined. And then Roger Penske, his appeal the previous week with Logano and Keselowski, that will be heard on May 1st. So the points have already been taken away, but the crew chiefs, they're allowed to stay in place until we finally get an appeal on this thing. So what effect does it have on the driver tonight? A guy like Matt Kenseth trying to win again from the pole.
What is Coach Gibbs? What is Joe Gibbs? He's a coach. What does he do? He motivates. And I guarantee he got that 20 bunch together and he put them all in a huddle and he said, boys, we're going to Richmond. We're going to take Richmond like Grant did. We're going to go up there. We're going to win this race. We're going to win the pole. We're going to show those guys that it doesn't matter what they do to us. They can't keep us from winning.
I talked to Matt yesterday, and he is so motivated. He doesn't think the penalties are fair. He wants those to be reversed. But in the meantime, he's going to go win races, and he is on fire. Just remember, when Matt showed up here, he was a winner. He's a champion, and I think he's using this as motivation for not only him, but that whole team.
What about Brad Keselowski last week? He made up some ground. Do they have the depth at Penske Racing to deal with once their appeal is heard any loss?
Well, there's very rarely such a special combination like Brad Keselowski and his crew chief Paul Wolfe. Those guys get it done. If he loses Paul, they don't have the ability to overcome that, I don't believe.
I think every team has a lot of depth. These big teams have a lot of depth. They have engineers and they have other people in the shop. Greg Irwin comes to mind. He's been working with Sam Hornish in the Nationwide Series. They will manage. They will get it by just fine.
More on the Matt Kenseth and Joe Gibbs Racing penalties in a moment, but other storylines because of the back injury March 24th. Denny Hamlin still out. Ryan Vickers will be in his 11 car tonight, but we'll talk to Denny and see how he is feeling when he'll return. And Jimmie Johnson, already 2 wins. He has the points lead by the widest margin this year. Meanwhile, Tony Stewart is off to the worst 8-race start of his career, 21st in points for the former 3-time champion. So what are the problems with Tony Stewart?
Tony's struggling a bit, but you know, tonight's the kind of night that can turn it around for Tony. Just remember, he doesn't bloom until the summer. In his career, he's won 47 races, only 6 of them before the month of June. So I think there's a little bit of concern, but that man right there, he's a rough racer. He's a dirt tracker. He comes to a short track, he can dig in and make a difference. And I think tonight, Darrell, is a big night for Tony Stewart.
But we know he's very impatient, and I think he's just about had enough. He's got a lot of talent over there at Stewart-Haas, and there's some guys he can move around a little bit. It may be time to do that.
Yeah, yes, Greg Zipadelli in the house. He changed crew chief Steve Addington, the guy for the moment. Only driver, by the way, who finished in the top 5 in both Richmond races last year was Tony Stewart. But tonight, Kyle Busch with a chance to win his 5th straight spring race here in Richmond. As we continue to count you down to the start of the race, NASCAR lowering the boom and handing out harsh penalties as we discussed, and that's frustrating drivers.
The penalty is way over the top.
We'll take a closer look at NASCAR's rules and how they are doing the enforcing. Plus, Denny Hamlin will drop by our set and hang out with us to talk about his return. All that and Michael on the grid. Talk with drivers before they hop in the car. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. NASCAR on Fox coming to you live here from Richmond. There's Brad Keselowski, minus 25 points. Joey Logano also at 25 knockdown. And then Matt Kenseth, the pole sitter, the last couple of races, minus 50. Plus, they took the pole away from last week and the bonus points for the playoff chase. The loss of points and fines being appealed by both Roger Penske, as we mentioned, and Joe Gibbs. It's the first technical penalty that Gibbs has appealed in some 22 years, back with Darrell and Michael. And back in the early 80s, Richard Petty was penalized 104 points for engine and tire violations at Charlotte. With the Gen 6 car now, cars have changed, but some other things have not. The latest punishment handed down to Kenseth because of a connecting rod, where the weight violation equals that of a dime.
We've had some significant penalties.
I think the penalties are grossly unfair.
We won Kansas. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
What we're going to appeal is the severity of the penalties.
I think it's borderline shameful.
You make that change in that engine, and that race doesn't change a bit.
The champagne was barely dry from the Kansas win when NASCAR officials hammered Matt Kenseth and Joe Gibbs Racing for a seemingly innocent oversight.
This was one that just slipped through there. And sometime in life, you hate that, but it does happen.
You know, there was no performance advantage, there was no intent, it was a mistake. JGR had no control over it.
With no prior knowledge of the infraction, many wonder why Joe Gibbs Racing had to take the fall for their Toyota engine vendor's mistake.
It's very difficult to go to a outside vendor and penalize them.
To crush Joe Gibbs like that and to say that he can't win a owner's championship with a 20 this year is just, I just can't wrap my arms around that.
This isn't right. This isn't right for a team owner. And you know, you look at the penalties and you say, well, it's $200,000. No, it's much bigger than that.
It stops at the crew chief and stops at the owner and stops at the organization that is here to compete.
For NASCAR, Joe Gibbs and crew chief Jason Ratcliffe face lengthy suspensions and steep fines for an engine part they had no control over and no distinct track advantage.
One of the connecting rods was found to be light. That goes against the rules. We understand that.
That many grams light on a rod, that makes no sense. That would gain you no advantage.
We're here to not judge these penalties, whether they are performance enhancing.
The intent here was not to get an unfair advantage.
But we're really here just to regulate the rule book.
But if history is any indication, NASCAR does not take it lightly when engines do not meet specifications.
There's a few things that are understood in the garage area that are big. When you talk about engines, you talk about tires, and you talk about fuel. Don't mess with those areas.
Over the past week, NASCAR's 3 big series have levied over $450,000 in fines, docked over 150 points, and suspended 9 crew members.
it looks a little odd because you run through these cycles where you'll have this happen, and you may go 10 months and not get another penalty.
When you're faced with something like this, you want to make sure you do it the right way. We have to just make good decisions and try and deal with it.
All right, Darrell, I'll start with you. Penalties too harsh for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Listen, nobody's arguing about the rod being too light. That's a given, and that requires something that NASCAR has to do. They're doing their job. But look, there's so many penalties here. I can't even read all of them.
You've never seen anything this
I've never
big.
seen anything like this in my 35 years in this sport. They threw the book at that team. And quite honestly, to use a football term, I think they were piling on with some of these. Joe Gibbs can't even get any points for 6-point races.
Well, how about the passion on both sides? You can tell NASCAR thinks that they made the right decision. They're going to make that call, and they're going to stand by it. But, man, that Gibbs team, they're upset. I think that's going to motivate them. They'll be strong tonight. But maybe a few of those things can get overturned in an appeal process.
They may still be able to come back from this. It's hard to say. As good as that car's running, they may be able to.
Even Toyota, the manufacturer, was fined points in this, and they took responsibility for what happened. All right, Michael's going to head to the grid. Darrell and I will be joined by Denny Hamlin, Virginia's own. He's on his turf, and we'll talk to him about wrecks, recovery, and his return. You're watching NASCAR on Fox, and we're glad you're with us. NASCAR on Fox pre-race show is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.
Everybody knows that a racetrack parking can be a pain, but let's turn that pain into a perk when you can park here at the Toyota Drivers Only parking lot. And since my time off, Toyota has named me the official parking lot bouncer to deal with people like this. Whoa, 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 Easy Rider. This lot's not for you.
What's the problem? I mean, I'm Hollywood Hammond, you know, buddy.
Well,
I mean, you know, come on, buddy.
Hollywood.
You know?
I know you're familiar with the word VIP.
Yeah.
But this is for Toyota Drivers Only.
I understand, but, you know, look, you know.
$10? Guys, I'm taking your 10. Take care of my light work.
But Danny, I don't understand. Look, Danny, I liked you better as a driver.
Yeah, it's great to have Denny Hamlin with us.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
Taking care of those undesirables at the track.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're feeling better. Give us an update on that. And I know you wanted to race tonight here in Virginia. It's not happening. Will we see you racing, at least to start the race in Talladega?
Yeah, that's the preliminary plan to do that. Is to hopefully I won't have to live another week of watching driver intros and things, watching the cars roll off pit road. So, you know, recovery process, obviously I was very optimistic in thinking I could come back for Richmond. Obviously it's a slower track, and I felt like my risk was a little bit less, but obviously the doctors have my best interests at heart, and so they thought I needed to sit out at least another week.
You know, Denny, I know other athletes have had injuries, back injuries and so forth, and they elected finally they just had to get the surgery. Has that become an option for you? Maybe that maybe if to get this repaired from once and for all?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, you know, as crazy and as sick of a thought as it was when they told me I'd broken my spine. I was thinking maybe I messed up enough stuff back there to where they'll have to go in and fix my previous problems. But you know, that is going to be an option for us in the off season if this doesn't go past Darlington. If I can't get in the car by Darlington, then I need to evaluate my season, evaluate the risk and what my possibilities of making the chase are, and then go from there, because I want to come back 2014 is strong and 100%, so I can really focus on that.
There is a slim chance then that you might not race again this year, right? You've been told that.
You know, it'll happen. I could race this year, but obviously I don't want to race for nothing. You know, you want to come back and have a strong season. You know, my career will go beyond 2013 and what is and what was of 2013. So, you know, if I can't get in the car in a timely manner, it's something that we need to evaluate.
Right.
Denny, I see you at the track. I see you on the pit box. I see you on top of the truck. I see you over in the corner.
All over.
You're real getting around as if you're fine. I can't wrap my arms around the problems that you have. It's internal. You can't see it, but it's really serious, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime your spine is separated into a couple pieces, it's not a good thing. And obviously, the risk in which we're taking by taking another hit significant to the one that we had is with it already being broken, your spinal cord is a very touchy thing you can't mess with, and you don't want to risk something major happening if you take one more hit.
Have they suggested that you stay home and rest? Doctors?
Actually, I've talked with the doctors quite a bit, and they said, you know, the best medicine for me is to get stronger, move around. Obviously, you got to do it within your limits. Don't go running. Don't do things like that. It's going to have compression on your spine, but they have no problem with me walking around here and there.
Hey, you're a Toyota driver with Joe Gibbs. Your thoughts on the fines and punishment lately?
You know, it's sensitive because I know it is a very sensitive area in NASCAR's eyes. The engines are, but honestly, a very, very silly mistake on the manufacturer's part. And the bad part is, it is a coin flip of who gets that engine. I mean, it could have been any of the Michael Waltrip cars, any of the Gibbs cars. We didn't know whose engine it was going to end up in, and who knows what the other engines were. It's just they were unlucky to win the race, the bottom line.
Yeah, and the connecting rod, the random one they took was the one where the rest of them apparently were in alignment with NASCAR. Well, we hope to see you in Talladega, and talk to you. Thanks always for your time and riding through this with you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've noticed this weekend, FedEx has got a different paint scheme. It's the FedEx Delivery Manager. You can go on and customize your delivery options. So check out our new paint scheme. It looks awesome this weekend. And I tell you, I think Brian Vickers has got him a winning car tonight.
I think he does too. Front row, not bad.
All right, 32-year-old Denny Hamlin with 22 career wins, and we'll see him racing again at some point. Thanks again, Denny. You can relive the excitement from every race so far this season with NASCAR The Game Inside Line. Highlights are now available for you to download. See if you can keep up with all your favorite drivers like Denny at the best tracks. Experience all the biggest 2013 NASCAR moments only on NASCAR The Game Inside Line. We'll have more from Richmond, Virginia in a moment. Danica Patrick starts 30th tonight. There's her boyfriend, rookie Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Tony Stewart, hoping to improve things as we have discussed. Danica had that conversation as you look at some of the other drivers with David Gilliland after on the radio threatening to wreck it. He said, you just hush up and drive. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, nice cleaning that up.
You get the idea. Time for Gas or Go. We're at the touchscreen. You have questions. Darrell Waltrip has the answers. And Darrell, you're on the clock as always here. After tonight, the first quarter of the season complete. So what's the biggest surprise, good or bad, so far?
Well, there's three guys that really stick out in my mind. Carl Edwards, who only had 3 top 5s, I think it was, all last year. He's already equaled that. Casey Kane, who struggled when he first went over to Hendrick last year. He's second in the points. And then Jamie McMurray, kind of one of my long shot guys. He's 10th. He's really surprised me how well he's doing this year.
And we've already had more lead changes compared to last year this year through this amount of races and more cautions. So the excitement level is up. All right, how about Jimmie Johnson? Largest points lead, but these next 2 races, the last few times he has not done well here and at Talladega. So will his points lead shrink or widen over the next couple?
Well, what's the use of having a big points lead if you're not going to use it, right? That's how I feel about that. He may lose a little here and there, but this, friends, is the guy you got to beat every week. Got to beat him to win the race, got to beat him to win the championship.
Pushing the envelope. All right, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been out of the top 16 the last 3 races, but he's still up there in points. Is this a bounce-back kind of night for him?
This is his favorite track, one of his best tracks. He won here back 2007 or 6, I think it was. And so I think he'll have a good night, and he needs it. This guy runs off of confidence, and his is he needs a big confidence booster. Might get it tonight.
And you think the confidence, Darrell, might have something to do with the beard? That was yesterday, and then today we just saw him clean-shaven.
I know. I said breaking news. Dale Jr. is shaved. What'd they do with the old Dale Jr.? That may be an omen.
All right, he's trying for something.
He's getting ready for Victory Circle.
From Twitter, we always thank you for sending in your Twitter questions. We talked about the Kenseth crew chief Jason Ratcliffe penalty of $200,000, and he wants to know, what do crew chiefs earn annually, and can they afford these fines?
Well, I don't know what they are. You know, these days, that fine will be shared by not just the crew chief alone. I'm sure that Joe Gibbs and maybe even Toyota, there'll be a lot of people that'll chip in to help him pay his fine. He's going to be okay. He won't go hungry.
Average crew chief about $500,000.
Probably somewhere in that range.
Yeah, the top guys in the chase are way up there.
Some more than that.
Up to $1 million. All right,
Hammond, he was around 100.
Really? $100? Quick answer on Brad Keselowski, Paul Wolfe. You love that combo. You said you got to beat Jimmie Johnson and Chad Knaus. Is that the combo if they are together over the long haul in the chase?
Well, yeah, they've Paul Wolfe has won Brad Keselowski a lot of races, but don't forget Kenny Francis and Casey Kane. That's another potent combination. almost as good as Jimmy and Chad.
It is that head coach quarterback kind of connection.
Calling no shots on that pit box. That's it, baby.
All right, you're going to head upstairs to join the guys outside. Always fun on the touch and screen and touch and go with Darrell Waltrip. Well, that's from one Waltrip will exit, the other one coming in. Michael Waltrip on the grid to talk to drivers in the crowd before they hop in the car. And Michael, we're gonna find you there somewhere. How are you? Doing all right?
You see me, Chris?
Yes, I see you now. I'm sorry.
Down here on pit road, what an exciting atmosphere this is. 3/4 of a mile of people crammed into the Richmond International Raceway to watch some action. Joey Logano getting ready. Hey, bud, how do you feel?
I feel great. How do you feel?
I feel good, and I'm glad you're better. That was a hard hit last week. Congratulations on Texas, bud. Winners from down there. I'll see y'all. But we're just going to wander around here and see what we come across. Ooh, there's DeMarcus Ware. We're buddies. Oh, thank you. He likes my shoes. We're buddies. Hey, D. Ware, how you doing?
Listen, hold on. I'm his bodyguard. What are you doing?
No, I'm Michael Waltrip.
I don't care. I'm his bodyguard. What are you doing?
There's been a lot of action around the NASCAR races, and DeMarcus has obviously heard about it. There's a fight last night, and there's not going to be any trouble here today. Can I have a hug?
No touching, none of that.
There's Felix Sabates. Hi, Felix. He owns this car. High five. Hi, Mimi. This is the 42. It's got Depends on it. Clint Boyer's driving the Toyota car this weekend. Oh, Casey Kane. He's one of my favorite drivers. Where's he at? Hey, have y'all seen Casey Kane?
Nah.
No Casey Kane. Oh, well, I don't guess. Hey, look over here. It's Jeff Gordon. I know we've been talking about it a lot, trying to get to Jeff Gordon, maybe do a little pre-race interview with the 4-time champ. I think it might happen this time. Hey, Jeff Gordon. Michael Waltrip, Fox Sports. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. How are you? I like the shirt and tie. It's looking good.
Thank you. I really put a really special outfit together tonight, and you put a special qualifying run together. You came on like 25th on your first lap up to 3rd. How do you do that?
Well, you mess up the first lap and hopefully make up for it on the second. I mean, our drive in Hunger Chevrolet has been good all weekend. It was good in qualifying trim, and I knew it had it in it. I just messed up coming to the green the first lap, so I gave it up. And luckily, it stuck pretty good the second lap.
You got it all out of it. Have fun tonight. Have a good race. That was Jeff Gordon. First time we've interviewed you. Hey, here's Denny Hamlin. I think y'all saw him in pre-race. Brian Vickers, his backup driver. Matt Kenseth on the pole again this week. He won from here last week. Chris, it's fun down here on the grid. I love the energy.
All right, Michael. We love the hair. Getting lots of tweets and texts about the hair. There's good hair. Denny already back out there to root for Brian Vickers, who starts on the outside pole with Matt Kenseth up front. Welcome back to our NASCAR on Fox pre-race show. Richmond, Virginia, almost 200 years and 145 miles away, inspired by a special site at Fort McHenry. Francis Scott Key composed what became our national.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats, and all veterans of our armed services are encouraged to render a hand salute as the service members representing the U.S. Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard from the Joint Culinary Center of Excellence at Fort Lee, Virginia, present our nation's colors. And now, please welcome Pastor Joe Ellison Jr., Senior Pastor of City Park Church, as he offers tonight's invocation.
Let us pray, race fans. Father, in the name of your Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, we thank you tonight for blessing us with a beautiful night for racing. Lord, we thank you that you will put a hedge of protection around each and every driver. God, we thank you for America. We thank you for the wonderful men and women that serve their country in the armed forces around the world. Lord, we ask you to bless their families. We ask you, Lord, to protect our racers tonight, protect our fans, and we'll give you all the praise. If God be for us, who can be against us? In Jesus' name, amen.
Please remain standing and welcome the St. Gertrude High School Honors Ensemble as they perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrangling, the bombs bursting in air, gave
Let's hear it for the St. Gertrude High School Honors Ensemble. And
the NASCAR family sends its heartfelt sympathies to everyone affected by the terror and tragic events in Boston the last couple of weeks. Support onefunboston.org and help those affected by the recent tragedy in Boston. We appreciate your caring, your interest, and your support. 300 miles, 400 laps. They're ready to go. You have a front row seat for prime time racing. Hall of Fame Redskin coach and NASCAR champ owner Joe Gibbs telling Matt Kenseth, his pole sitter, let's go get him just like we did last week. Hopefully all the inspection issues will be taken care of. Racing fans, you think you know something about speed? Buckle your seatbelt and play AT&T's Fastest Driver Challenge. Simply call ***FAST from your mobile phone and predict who will have the fastest times in today's race. It's all brought to you by the nation's fastest 4G LTE network, AT&T. Rethink possible. Jeff Gordon starting his 698th consecutive race tonight. That's 90 away from Ricky Rudd's all-time mark. But the short track discussion with Kyle Busch. He's trying to win his 5th straight spring race here in Richmond. Who provides the greatest challenge?
Well, Hendrick Motorsports has won both short track races in 2013. Casey Kane at Bristol and Jimmy Johnson at Martinsville. So look for them to be strong. But Carl Edwards had a strong run here a year ago. Remember, a late restart bit him, but he was fast. He won at Phoenix. This track's a lot like Phoenix, and the car he's racing tonight is his Phoenix car.
And we talked a lot about the penalties that were handed down, Michael. As a car owner, you're in the garage. Our crews, drivers, crew chiefs, a little bit more tense about just double checking everything before a race based on what we've seen.
I can't imagine that they could be any more intense about it. You know, we have to abide by the rules. NASCAR has shown that they're going to step on you if you do anything wrong. So you better keep everything right. Whether it's the rear end housing or underneath the hood, it's got to be proper.
And Clint Boyer, you know, we're talking about your driver with Michael Waltrip Racing, who's also been very, very effective on the short track. 4 straight top 5 finishes on the short tracks,
including a win here last fall. So Clint knows how to get it done on these short tracks. He grew up racing dirt track in Kansas, and that's the same kind of attitude you better have here tonight. If you don't get rubbed upon, or if you don't rub into somebody, you're probably not going to win this race. And that's the kind of action and that's the kind of intensity you need to be successful.
We didn't talk a lot about payback. You can lay back. I mean, Tony Stewart, who's anxious, feisty to get a victory, has he remembered what Joey Logano, what he said, what happened in that race, and what he went after him afterwards? He's been careful so far.
Chris, you're making me so happy. There's so many storylines that are going to develop when these guys fire these 900 horsepower engines and barrel off into turn 1 at 150 miles an hour. Who knows?
We'll be watching closely. And Tony Stewart, this is a place he's had some success. Brian Vickers in, as we mentioned, for Denny Hamlin. Let's take you back down trackside here in Richmond, Virginia.
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give that command, the proud owner of a 2009 Toyota Camry from Chester, Virginia, Carlton Walker.
Drivers, start your engines!
Welcome in the voices of NASCAR, along with Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, Mike Joy. We have a chance tonight for the pole sitter in a NASCAR race to win his 4th straight. Last time that happened was all the same guy. Darrell Waltrip did it back in 1981, Mike.
Thanks, Chris. For much more than the 44 years I've been in short track racing, there's been a long-held superstition. Full moon, Saturday night short track racing, they pile them up and tempers flare. What happens tonight, Darrell, when all that passion comes through?
Well, can you not feel it? I mean, what I love about the short tracks is you can reach out and you can touch the cars. You can hear them, you can feel them, you can smell them. Short tracks are where you keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Larry, who have you got your eye on tonight?
Well, I'll have my eye on all 43 drivers when they drop the green flag, but in particular, Kyle Busch qualified 8th. He is going for his 5th consecutive win in the spring race, but to the other end of the field, Brad Keselowski qualified outside the top 20, won the race here last night, and Jimmy Johnson for the 2nd consecutive week qualifies way in the back. Little tougher here than at Kansas last week.
That's for sure. All right, full moon short track Saturday night live on Fox. Can it get any better than this? Don't think so. are ready to race in the Old Dominion, state of Virginia. It's the Toyota Owners 400 live on Fox tonight. Let's run down the Geico starting grid for you. Matt Kenseth has won consecutive poles for the first time in his career, and Brian Vickers has his third Richmond front row start, both in Toyotas. Chevy's in row 2, two-time Richmond winner Jeff Gordon, and Casey Kane, who got his first career win here in 04. Clint Boyer's a two-time Richmond winner, and Montoya has his best start of the season. Joey Logano, every short track race this year, he started in the top 10. Kyle Busch, winner of this race the last 4 years in a row. Martin Truex, his third Richmond top 10 start, and Mark Martin, the 1990 winner. Marcus Ambrose, his best start here, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., his first Cup race at Richmond. Then it's Jamie Mack, top 10 finishes in 3 of the last 5 races. Kurt Busch, who won here in September of 05. Ryan Newman and Jeff Burton are both past winners at Richmond. The top 20 is completed by Harvick, Blaney, Earnhardt, and Reagan.
Let's see if we can get the old pole setter here, the track record holder. Hey, Matt Kenseth, DW got a copy, buddy?
Gotcha.
Hey, man, the last 3 weeks, the pole setter has gone on to victory. Can we make it 4 tonight? Are you good enough to do it?
Man, I hope so. That sure would feel good for a lot of reasons. So they gave me a great Dollar General Camry again. Qualifying day, I wasn't really expecting it to be that good. It had a lot of speed, so we'll roll off here. Hopefully we can stay up front somewhere, keep up with the racetrack tonight, and have a shot at it. That's the plan. That'd be fun.
Hey, buddy, I know you want to put the events of this past week behind us, but you admittedly have told me I'm not a great qualifier. What has come over you?
Man, it's that group standing down there in pit stall 1 and everybody back in Huntersville that puts these cars together, and engines as well. So it's just it's a total package. This stuff is really fast and really fun to drive.
All right, my friend. Well, have a great night, and I hope you end up in Victory Circle.
Thank you, sir.
Tonight's race is brought to you by Budweiser, the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. To pit road, Chris Devoto.
Well, it's been over 7 years since Jeff Gordon won on a short track. That streak could end tonight. Quickest and final practice, a great starting spot. And crew chief Alan Gustafson told me this is a car that Jeff can not only manage, but manhandle. To Matt Yoko.
1 week ago, Kansas roughed up Kyle Busch, where he spun not once but twice during the race. But he comes into Richmond, his best racetrack, averages a 5th place finish, chasing his 5th straight win here in the spring. But he told me the car was rather inconsistent during practice, not sure what to expect. Kyle told me lap 30, that's when he'll know whether it'll be a good or a long night in Candyland. Steve Burns.
Matt, Tony Stewart got his first Cup win here back in 1999. He says this is his favorite track, and he needs a great run tonight. He comes in here 21st in points. The 3-time champion starts 21st. And the teams just told me that car might not be good at the start, but it'll be good on the long run, Jeff Hammond.
Well, Steve, here at Richmond, everybody wants to end the race at the start-finish line. Not here in turn 3. This is Richmond's calamity corner. You come down through here, it narrows up a whole lot. It will get you. You don't believe me? Ask Jeff Gordon, ask Clint Boyer, and even ask Dale Earnhardt Jr. The question is, who will be the victim of turn 3 here tonight? We'll know in 400 laps, Mike.
Thanks, Jeff. Lights are out atop the safety car. It's been a beautiful day here in Richmond. The clouds have just rolled in recently, dropping the track temp to 90, air temp 69, light breeze. A lot of clouds right now. 400 laps to go, 300 miles tonight. 40 on pit road. 80 to 90 laps is the window for Sunoco Race Fuel. And Larry, we had a nice, beautiful day. It's starting to get kind of cool out there. How do we transition to darkness?
Well, and we've had no practice in these conditions. This is something that they had to build adjustments into these race cars because it's only going to get faster with more grip as the night goes on.
Nighttime will be the right time.
Oh, yeah, cars are happy under the lights. They're gripping up here.
Cars ready to race.
This is it, boys and girls. Everybody get on their feet. Look at these fans. Listen to those cheers. You got it. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Good, clean start. Matt Kenseth leads lap 1. Hamlin and Gordon, former teammates, now rivals, battle for second.
Vickers in that 11 car, you see him right there. He keeps trying to make that outside work, wants to try to get down in front of Boyer in the 15. Can't quite clear him just yet.
Yeah, that Boyer is a car that everybody was saying he's the man. Keep an eye on him. We'll see how it works out.
Clint Boyer edges up on Brian Vickers, number 11, in the back straightaway, but Vickers gets the launch off the corner, and they go single file.
Yeah, I think that was just Clint Boyer saying, hey, you go ahead. That bottom is not working too good right now.
Top 10 single file for 11th. Marcus Ambrose in the 9. Ricky Stenhouse, the 17.
Yeah, this is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 17. His first start here at Richmond in the Sprint Cup, and a lot of success in the Nationwide Series.
Believe it or not, Mike, this is when a driver really has to not lose his patience. It's so easy when we're bunched up like this on the start. I know it's early, but you don't want to start your night mad at somebody. We're going to run 10 laps.
Coming from the back, there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. with Ryan Newman. They get single file. Jimmy Johnson also having to come from the back, and Brad Keselowski, who started 23rd and has picked up 4. There's a look at Johnson's number 48. He has gained 6 spots, and that red car, do not adjust your set. The Blue Deuce is red tonight. Keselowski is up for 19th from 23rd.
Yeah, Keselowski, Brad, won the race here last night. That's great information. Same tire. That could really pay off tonight over the long haul.
And right behind them, Tony Stewart in that 14 car got his first career win here in 1999. Been searching for speed like a lot in 2013 all weekend long here at Richmond.
And that 48 car, Jimmy Johnson, they qualified poorly last week. Larry and I said, what's wrong with these guys? It wasn't long, Larry, until they were up there fighting for the lead.
Yes, they were.
Newman, Johnson, Keselowski single file. There's Stewart, the black car, number 14. Krista.
One thing with Jimmy Johnson, one of the reasons they qualified so poorly, they had a bad draw. They found out the draw when they'd go out to qualify before practice. Chad Knaus knew they would qualify poorly going out so early, so he said, let's not waste a lot of time on qualifying trim. Let's focus on race trim instead.
On the move, he's underneath the 42 of Montoya. Takes that position away, moves up to 8th.
Well, there's no question in anybody's mind here that if you're going to win this race, I said Clint Boyer, keep an eye on him, but the guy that they all know has a winning combination here is that 18 car of Kyle Busch. Whatever it takes, he seems to have it when he needs it.
4 straight wins in this race. The Joe Gibbs number 18. In fact, Gibbs cars have won 6 of the last 8 Richmond races.
Yeah, I asked Kyle Busch, what is it about this racetrack that you like so much? And Darrell, he told me, he said, there's so many characteristics of all the short tracks that I ran on the West Coast that you apply the same thing to this track.
Yeah, and you know that not only is Kyle good here, but he's sharing that information. I think that's why the 20 car is so good. I think that's why Brian Vickers in the 11 car, Denny Hamlin's car, is so good here because of Kyle Busch.
That's second on back right there. Jeff Gordon, Brian Vickers in the 11, Clint Boyer in the 15. Matt Kenseth playing keep away with the lead. He's 2 seconds in front of this group.
Yeah, he's pretty much in a league of his own time-wise right now. He's about 2 to 3 tenths quicker per lap. Matt Kenseth is in the 20 car. You know, as a racer, that's what you do. You have your stopwatch. Here we have scoring monitors, and you keep a clock on all the leader, and you share that information with whomever you're working with. There goes Clint Boyer by Brian Vickers there in the 11 car.
3rd place there, and that allows Casey Kane in the number 5 Chevrolet to close in.
It's another guy that's been on a hot streak here, Casey Kane. He and Kenny Francis, I like what they're doing.
Yeah, second in the points after 8 races last year. They were 26th in the points. What a difference.
Second last week, and look at the brake rotors when Kane hits the binders at the end of the straightaway. You'll see a lot of that as it gets darker tonight. They just glow red hot.
Yeah, you know, there was a time when that would have been a big concern. But the way these brakes, the big brakes, the calipers, and we got a pass here by the 5 car going by the 11. The way these cars, the brakes are designed now, those rotors glowing red like that, they cool right back down. It's really not a big deal.
15 green flag laps complete in Richmond. Matt Kenseth has led them all.
Let's pinch our dreams. Let's wake them up. Make them real. Let's not let anything hold us back. Not even 292,000 pounds. Let's keep our head in the stars, our feet on the ground, and nothing will be beyond our reach. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Dale, I got your text that said you couldn't text.
Wait, what? Why would he text that he couldn't text?
I was driving.
Well, why not just not text instead of texting? You can't text.
I didn't text. It was just a text saying that he couldn't text.
So who actually texted the text that he couldn't text?
Dale.
The Sprint Drive First app blocks and replies to texts while you drive. We can live without the and.
I need to be unrecognizable. Somebody that I can pull off a fun prank with.
So you sort of gravitated towards the Camaro.
I've never driven anything like this before.
It's got some power, so just get a feel for it. Okay, all right, but ease off just a little bit. Slow down. Slow down. You can't go through that gate. Oh, you're an idiot. I'm gonna kill you.
There's just something about NASCAR. The thunder of the flyover, the smell of burnt rubber, metal grinding metal at 190 miles per hour, the pack flying by in a blur of colors, lap after lap. We love this stuff as much as you do. So when the green flag drops, we'll be right there cheering with you. Lowe's, proud fans of NASCAR.
20 green flag laps complete in Richmond. Matt Kenseth out in front for all of them. Clint Bowyer has moved up to second from fifth. Yet Jeff Gordon, who started third, has slipped to ninth. Krista?
Yeah, and he is not happy on his radio right now. The issue they have with this race car, he is tight in the center. At this racetrack, you have got to be able to roll the center. Jeff Gordon said it is so tight, he can't get to the brakes, he can't do anything he wants to do with his race car.
And what Chris is talking about, roll the center, that means the car will turn in the center of the corner so you can get back in the throttle earlier. When it won't roll the center, you have to lay out the throttle, lay out the throttle, lay out the throttle, and you lose precious time.
But Darrell, when I look at Gordon in the 24, it kind of reminds me of his race here last September. At one point, he went 2 laps down after qualifying second, but they kept fighting, kept making adjustments, came back to finish seconds, would put him in the chase last year.
Gordon trying to hold on to ninth in front of Mark Martin. Mike Bliss has taken his car to the garage.
And Larry, when we think back to practice yesterday, if you remember, and I know you do, Jeff Gordon struggled in practice. He was 38th quick until all of a sudden they bolted a set of tires on and he shot up to the top of the chart. But his race package didn't look that great yesterday.
The teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. Darrell, 143 miles an hour into turn one.
Yeah, all the way down to under 90 miles per hour in the middle.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. When a car will not roll the center, in other words, it's nice and free. You can turn the steering wheel. Listen how long Dale Jr. is out of the gas. I mean, the motor almost goes like it goes dead silent. That you can't make time when you're doing that.
And Jeff Gordon continues to drop. Both Mark Martin and the 9 of Marcus Ambrose have passed him. Kurt Busch wants by. And takes the bottom groove and the position, which is 11th.
Yeah, what makes you fast on a short track is not how hard you go in the corner. It's how quickly you get the car headed the other way, where the car rotates, headed the other way, and you get wide open in the throttle. That's how you go fast.
That was the real difference in drivers that qualified well last night, drivers that didn't qualify well.
Joey Logano 5th, Martin Truex 6th. Closing in on them, Kyle Busch.
And Larry, because of the conditions, because we are racing at night and we haven't had a practice in these kind of conditions, these first few laps, this first run right here, there will be cars that'll be way off.
Like Jeff Gordon.
Like Jeff Gordon. They're going to need a pit stop to make the proper adjustments to the car to accommodate the track conditions.
Now, Matt Kenseth's lead has disappeared because he's had to fight his way through some lapped cars, some traffic there.
You know, guys, it's going to be really interesting to watch these pit crews, the crew chiefs down on pit road, make decisions during this race. We've already lost 2 seconds off of the fastest time by Matt Kenseth during this race. You see Clint Bowyer close in a bit there behind Kenseth, but the tires have fallen off, and when that happens, that means the crew chief's got some serious decisions to make with his strategy. It's fun racing.
It does. The crew chief does have to make the right adjustments, but here's the other thing. It really comes down to who has the most finesse behind the wheel. When the tires start to go away and the car handle changes a little bit, who can work the throttle, who can work the brakes, who can take the best care of those tires and get the most out of them.
Martin Truex just moved up to 5th place, and Kyle Busch takes 6th away from Joey Logano. Here comes Montoya battling Logano in the 22. Juan moves up to 7th. Matt Kenseth's lead was 2.6 seconds. He got into lap traffic and lost 2 of those seconds. He's still out front.
The Toyota Owners 400 on Fox is sponsored by Sprint. Millions of fans, one family. Only Sprint can feed them all. Join the family at sprint.com/speed.
Enter for a chance to win the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado LTZ, a VIP Chevy racing experience for 2. Meet and greet Chevy driver Tony Stewart. Visit winthenewsilverado.com now to enter. Matt Kenseth led the first 36 laps. Clint Bowyer in the number 15 Toyota ran him down. Moved to the inside.
Yellow's out, don't get run over.
And we have the first caution of the night, with Bowyer the new leader. Spin by Josh Wise puts us under caution for the first time this evening. Landon Castle gets inside and into Wise.
Boy, look at that. I mean, that's some great car control there. Josh Wise hung on to that number 35 car even after the 33 car ran right into the side of him. Watch this. Some pretty good driving right here, boys.
But look how quick those roof flaps on the roof of that 35 car deployed. I mean, he was not even 45 degrees, and pit road will be very, very busy. I think 4 fresh tires for everyone.
Krista?
Juan Pablo Montoya bringing his car in, starting 6th, a great qualifying effort, and right now he has a pretty good race car. He needs a little bit of an air pressure change to give him a little more handling. Steve Burns?
Casey Kane says he's hitting the splitter on entry into the corner. Other than that, the car is good. Little air in the left front, Matt.
And the 2 Toyotas in the bottom, Clint Bowyer, who won here last fall, his car was tight on throttle, chassis adjustment for him. Meanwhile, our pole sitter, Matt Kenseth, he said his car was losing the back when he was out front, but then he was losing the nose in traffic. Air pressure changed for him.
Kenseth regains the lead off pit road. Bowyer drops to 2nd.
Boy, these are some tight little pit boxes.
And it was a lot of drivers on pit road at one time.
David Rudiman is the Aaron's lucky dog. Gets back on the lead lap. You don't need credit. All you need is Aaron's. Under caution at lap 44 in Richmond.
The Toyota Owners 400 on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
Completing 46 laps and ready to go back to green. Kenseth, Bowyer, Vickers, 3 Toyotas in front of Montoya's Chevrolet, Truex's Toyota, and Logano's Ford. 33 cars back to David Rudiman on the lead lap. We're back under green.
And Mike, that was a perfect length run for your first run to make some good adjustments on these race cars.
Yeah, it was about a half of a fuel run.
Truex had a look inside at turn 1. Couldn't go 3 wide. And the group narrows up entering turn 3. So behind Kenseth 2 by 2. Now Vickers breaks out in second place.
Yeah, it looks like that 20 car is pretty steamy on brand new tires. He gets away from these guys.
Back in 7th is Kyle Busch. In pre-race, Matt Yoakum said he'd know what he has after 30 laps. How about it, Matt?
Mike, he was telling his team that the car needed just a slight adjustment. It was a little bit tight but a little bit loose, but you could hear there was no panic in his voice. The problem, though, took place on the pit stop. He stopped too deep in the box. They lost 3 spots on pit road, but that car appears to be more to his liking than it was in practice.
Single file back through Kevin Harvick. That's the top 13. Then things get a little racy. Burton in the 31.
Whoa now.
Johnson in the 48. 3 wide into the corner. McMurray on the bottom. Earnhardt in the middle. And Jeff Gordon had to give way.
These guys get after it on these restarts. They know they have those 4 fresh tires, and they want to get all they can as quick as they can.
You know, with Dale Earnhardt, that was a close shave right there.
Kind of like where he showed up from yesterday to today.
Yeah, right.
You've been waiting all night for that.
I didn't know if I'd ever get to use that or not.
Tony Stewart battles Paul Menard. And that's back at 19th. Menard hanging tough on the outside. Behind him, Stenhouse, and now Newman coming into play in this battle, the 39. Kyle Busch marches on. He passes Casey Kane for 6th. That puts 5 Toyotas in the top 6 spots. As we look at our Toyota top performers.
I think that AD car, Kyle Busch, has definitely taken advantage of that pit stop. Made some great adjustments.
Steve, how about the second place car?
Prior to the pit stop, Mike, Brian Vickers in that 11 said that his car was a little bit tight in the center. However, he's really good getting off the corners. He just radioed the crew and said the car's better now, even better.
This back straightaway is so short, 850 feet. I mean, you're not in the throttle wide open very long. Where you make the time is off this corner and down this big looping front straightaway. You really drive it down into turn 1 pretty hard, and you're coming in there with a big swooping angle to get right to the bottom. You can make up a lot of time getting into 1, but you still have to have that acceleration and that forward bite to get off.
Kenseth not opening up as big a lead as before. Call it 0.6 of a second to Brian Vickers. Then Truex, Boyer, Montoya. The top 5. Brad Keselowski started 23rd in the number 2. And the defending Sprint Cup champ. One of our biggest movers. Right behind Jimmy Johnson, who is 3 spots behind Marcus Ambrose, who leads that pack.
Yeah, you have to be really careful when you get under somebody on corner exit off of 2 over there particularly. Not so bad off of 4. Got a little more room here, but you got to be careful under somebody off of turn 2. Matty, what are they saying about the 29?
Well, he's trying to chase his 3rd Richmond win, DW, but right now, like you talked in practice, he just cannot connect the corners. The car is free on entry, but then it just begins to plow from center all the way to exit. They made an air pressure change on that stop to see if they could get some progress on the 29.
You know, just looking at Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car, one of the drivers we talked about before the race, started back in 26. I got the impression, talking to that group, coming in here as a points leader with a 37 points lead after 8 races, they were experimenting yesterday in practice, and it ended up biting them because they didn't get that good qualifying run in. But he's doing the same thing he did at Kansas last week, going to the front from the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, we heard a very, very frustrated Chad Knaus yesterday after Jimmy made his qualifying run. He apologized to Jimmy Johnson for the car not being right. So they probably have it right for the race.
Saturday night short tracking next week. The fastest speedway on earth, Talladega, Alabama. Next Sunday with NASCAR on Fox.
She is big, she's bad, and she's boating.
Yep. And there'll be a pack of cars, 43 big, going around that joint, all hooked together.
McMurray 16th. Jeff Burton just ahead. 2 Chevrolets.
Larry, those front cars, I love to watch the scoring monitor. A 22, 56, 55, and a 51 on those first 3 cars. You can go a blanket over each one of them, the time-wise.
Yeah, Darrell, really the top 8 drivers are running in the 2240s and 50s.
Matt Kenseth has led all but 6 laps so far, but there's a long way to go in tonight's Toyota Owners 400.
I'm Miss Sprint Cup. You're watching the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series on Fox.
Let's take an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint. Matt Kenseth has led 64 laps tonight. He led 163 and route to victory last week in Kansas. Get unlimited access to NASCAR with the NASCAR Mobile 13 app and truly unlimited data from Sprint. Learn more at sprint.com/speed.
You know, Mike, in the pre-race show, we talked about Coach Gibb being a great motivator of his teams. Also think Matt Kenseth has been a big influence on all the Gibbs teams. His presence there, his leadership there. I think overall he has helped Gibbs dramatically over what they've been doing.
Agreed, Darrell. Maturity, leadership, enthusiasm. He didn't have much when he rolled in here on Thursday, but he said, don't worry. He said, we're going to get right. We're going to go for the pole. We're going to go for the win. One mission accomplished already. As Kurt Busch having a good night for Barney Visser's team, 7th right now after starting 14th.
And he's had so many good races going. If you look at Martinsville, he had the brake issue. Texas, the fuel rail issue with the ECU and EFI. And then last week, running up near the top 5 and had a loose wheel at the start of the race. Still rallied to finish 15th. They have been this fast. They just hadn't figured out how to make it the entire race without a problem.
You know what, Larry? When you step everything up, okay, you step the driver up. You got a championship driver, a driver that's won a championship. That puts pressure on the crew chief and now the pit crew to perform at his level. So that's where that team is. It's in growing pains.
True for Kurt Busch, but that kind of motivation also true for past champion Matt Kenseth. Matt Yocum.
My concern in the Kenseth pit. About 10 laps ago, Matt came on the radio and told his team it felt like something possibly broke in the rear end area of the race car. And then about 5 laps ago, he added further that it felt like something snapped. There's now a vibration. He thinks possibly a brake duct may have come loose or broke and is rubbing somewhere in the back of the car.
Yeah, Matt, just watching his lap times, I mean, he's still right up there where all of the top 5 or 6 drivers are running as far as the scoring line.
See, that Matt Kenseth, to me, I've listened to him for years. He's a very sensitive driver, and I don't mean that in a personal kind of way. When he drives a race car, he hears things, he feels things that I think really and truly sometimes he just needs to let go of them because they are distractions. But he is a very sensitive driver behind the wheel of that car.
Especially when he's leading, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Just look at the watch the watch and tell me how I'm running. Let the rough side drag.
From pit stall 1, you get a good view, a pavement eye view of that car off into turn number 1.
And it can be a number of things. Sometimes you can pick up a little rubber on a tire in a car. These things have what we call a ratchet in the rear end. And that rear end will ratchet a little bit, and the car will shake a little bit, and it'll get a driver's attention real quick. They may just have something going on back there that's pretty minor to me at this point.
Looking back from Danica Patrick as Kenseth has just lapped David Stremme. Take a look at the right rear here, Larry, Darrell.
Yeah, what is that? What is that? It looks like
There's
a light.
a reflection or something there.
Wow, not sure about that. Something dangling under there. Maybe like Matt said, he's a pretty smart guy. Maybe it's a brake duct. I don't see any sparks.
If he lost a brake duct, could that be light shining through the car to the ground there?
Maybe.
I don't know. It's kind of an odd angle.
I don't know what that could be.
But here's what I do know. The way it's running, don't fix it.
Yeah. If something's loose, leave it loose.
Kenseth's opened up a lead of 1.1 seconds over Brian Vickers, then Martin Truex, then Clint Bowyer. 4 Toyotas leading Montoya's Chevrolet. Let's look at this from a different angle on Matt Kenseth's car. Now look around the exhaust pipe.
Oh yeah, there's a little piece of the There, you think that's the...
All right, I know what it is. There's a skirt there.
Yeah,
and it
the
also,
skirt.
there's a small part that's supposed to be attached underneath. Those are the exhaust pipes right there. And what has happened, I think with the car traveling, it has rubbed that thin. That's probably what he's hearing and feeling.
Now, is that a sensitive driver? I mean, that's a little piece of tin hanging down there that you would not even notice, let alone feel.
That's the reflection we were seeing, though. It was that thin piece of aluminum that's just rubbed off so thin that it's become unattached.
Nice job with the super slow motion replay. Matt Kenseth, your leader by 1.3 seconds after 83 laps. Tonight's Ford EcoBoost Track Facts. Only Daytona and Martinsville have hosted more Sprint Cup races than Richmond, which began as a half-mile dirt fairgrounds, and tonight hosts its 50th race on this expanded 3/4-mile configuration. Kurt Busch, the last Ford winner here in the fall of 2005. Matt Kenseth out front by 2.4 seconds of Brian Vickers. And let's have a look at his pit stop, maybe, where there is a piece of that metal. It's still hanging there. When the car goes up on the jack, I believe we may see that piece drop down.
Yeah, evidently the car had been traveling and it was getting thinner and thinner. Aren't you going to see now the jack drop? And there you see it right there, because he was jacking the car up right there, very close to where that piece attaches.
Kasey Kahne, 7th place with Kurt Busch. And Kahne secures the spot.
And we're about as far into this run as we were that first run, so we're about halfway through the fuel run here.
Here's a guy you got to keep an eye on. Watching his lap times in that 48 car, he just keeps inching forward, and his lap times match our leader, Matt Kenseth, right now. So Jimmie Johnson, 48, looking good.
Back to the top 10.
There's his progression from 26th on the starting grid.
Jimmy is, I love the way he races. He's such a patient guy. That's why he does so well on these short tracks. He doesn't force the issue. Now, that doesn't mean he won't force the issue. He just doesn't do it until he has to.
Following Kurt Busch to the inside of David Stremmy's number 30. Stremme a lap down. Make that 2 laps down. Just 32 cars on the lead lap now. And Michael McDowell has joined Mike Bliss in the garage area. Coming up on quarter distance here in Richmond.
Well, we talked about Jimmie Johnson moving to the front. Brad Keselowski, our reigning champion in the 2 car, started back in the 23rd position. Always talks about their Achilles heel being qualifying. He's just outside the top 10 right now. You see him right there in 11th, just in front of his teammate, Joey Logano, in the 22.
Yeah, I believe that race here last night, I think that's a big advantage to some of these guys like Brad who won here last night, because this is the same tire that they ran last night in the nationwide race. That's good information for the race tonight.
Saw Danica Patrick there in the 10 car. She is now 2 laps down, back in the 37th position.
Back to the gas. She's got some breathing room before Marcus Ambrose closes in. Ambrose, the 13th place car. Kyle Busch, Kasey Kahne now for 6th place.
I think Kyle just got by Kasey Kahne in the 5 car. Kyle Busch in 18. I believe he just passed him. Might be the other way around here. We'll see.
Yeah, Kyle had passed Kurt Busch a little bit ago and is now closed on Kyle, looking to take the spot away, but you need a really good jump off turn 2 to do that, and Kahne got it. Steve Burns.
And an update on Dale Earnhardt Jr. as we ride on board. He's been able to pick up a few spots, Mike, from the start of the race, but like many drivers, he's battling a tight race car. On the last stop, they made an air pressure adjustment and track bar.
The Busch brothers go at it in the back straightaway. Boy, Kurt's had a busy week. He's been to Austin, Texas. He's been to Washington, D.C. And he's rubbed elbows with Australian race car drivers and congressmen.
Something going on with that 18 car of Kyle Busch. He was up there racing with Casey Kane, and all of a sudden he had just slowed dramatically.
It's almost like his car is suffering the same symptoms to some degree as Jeff Gordon. He can run fast for about 20 or 25 laps, and it really starts to fade.
And Jeff Gordon has dropped all the way to 26th place. Matt Kenseth, your leader.
The Toyota Owners 400 on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.
109 laps in Richmond, and caution is out for the second time tonight as Marcus Ambrose in the Richard Petty Motorsports #9 Ford slowed in the back straightaway. He was running 13th and coasts into his pit. We're told he has no oil pressure in the engine.
Tell you who that caution was a big break for. You just had talked about him before the commercial, Mike. Jeff Gordon in that 24 was not far from going a lap down.
Yes, sir, Larry. That 20 car Matt Kenseth was right on him.
Under the hood for Ambrose, calling for tools. And there's Gordon, who started third but has slid 22 spots since the start of this one.
On that 9 car, I don't know if the damage is probably done, but if the pump came off the belt came off the oil pump, that'll lose oil pressure and ruin the engine.
Pits are open. Krista.
Juan Pablo Montoya is saying the change they made last time really woke his car up. They're going to do it again. Air pressure just to improve the handling. Steve Burns.
Krista, Brian Vickers says, hey, I'm better in the center, but help me with my drive off. So they give him a chassis adjustment, Matt.
Kansas said that the vibration is minuscule, but after about 53 laps into that run, his tires start going away. The car was free on exit. Meanwhile, Clint Bowyer was having a hard time with his car on exit. He said, that's where I need to help to make some progress this run.
Close coming off pit road. Give it to Clint Bowyer.
Yeah, a little slow on the, I don't know if it's the right rear, right front, but right side change here on the 20 car Kenseth.
All right, Landon Castle gets the free pass, and you'll see what happens here with Kenseth and that dragging piece of metal.
Yeah, the tire carrier, he's going to snip that off, and he gets back around and do his job on the left rear.
All right, now to Chris Myers.
And time for an AT&T race break, brought to you by the nation's fastest 4G LTE network. Rethink possible. Michael Waltrip, Chris Myers here observing. Matt Kenseth has dominated, and he should, but it's a Toyota Owners 400, but the recent pit stop shaking things up a little bit.
Yeah, Matt didn't get off pit road as fast as Clint Bowyer. That team made a good run off pit road. Jimmy Johnson's team as well. That's what I've been impressed with mostly, Chris, is Jimmy Johnson driving through this field. It's so competitive. Times are so close, but yet that man is able to drive through everybody.
And he started 26, which is his worst start of a race so far this season. The points leader made up 20 spots in the first 110 laps.
Yeah, he was coming, as was Brad Keselowski. Brad was a little bit better than Jimmy before the first pit stop, and then after the adjustments, Chad Canals and that team, the crew chief for Jimmy Johnson, they put the right tuning on that car, and it is right now.
And Juan Pablo Montoya, the 37-year-old driver in the 42 car, his only top 15 finish so far this season was 12th at Phoenix, and up there competing with the Toyota domination and Jimmy Johnson getting his Chevrolet in the act.
Yeah, I think DeMarcus Ware told him he better go tonight or he'd be in trouble. He had on a uniform just like Montoya, and he's on the gas tonight for sure.
And you referred to pit road moments ago. We saw the numbers. It was a good move for Clint Bowyer, who's won here before.
And you could see there winning the race barely over Brian Vickers off pit road. That Joe Gibbs Racing team was able to beat the Michael Waltrip crew down in Texas and get the win. This time, the Michael Waltrip team got the better of the Gibbs.
And the work continuing on pit road. Currently, it's Bowyer, Vickers, Matt Kenseth. And racing fans, if you think you know something about speed, buckle your seatbelt and play AT&T's Fastest Driver Challenge. Simply call **FAST from your mobile phone and predict who will have the fastest times in today's race. Brought to you by the nation's fastest 4G LTE network, AT&T. Rethink possible. And let's rejoin Darrell, Larry, and Mike.
Clint Bowyer the leader as we get one to go. Joe Nemechek takes the wave around. And Landon Castle got the free pass on this, the second caution flag of the night. Marcus Ambrose, number 9, being pushed to the garage, where he'll join Mike Bliss. And we listened to it on Clint Bowyer.
Second, first. You might be first. I think you're all right.
And he is first.
Well, that Kenseth pit stop down there, I just cutting that piece of metal off, slowed that stop down just enough to let those other two guys get out ahead of him.
Tony Stewart fell back on that stop. He was blocked in his pit by Dave Blaney. Lost 4 spots to 25th. All right, we'll restart with 30 lead lap cars, 114 complete. Bowyer just took off from everybody, and he is long and gone into turn 1. Kenseth second.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the 11 car there on the outside, but he did not go. Like he wasn't ready. Brian Vickers in the 11, he was slow on that start.
3 Toyotas and then Montoya's Chevrolet. Juan Montoya's last top 10 was last June in Michigan. His last top 5 was 2 seasons ago, but he's given that number 42 the ride of its life tonight. Former Indy 500 and Monaco Grand Prix winner has found a home with Chip Ganassi's team in stock car racing, but it's been a long time since he was this close to the front.
Well, his teammate Jamie McMurray has been running really good this year in the top 10 in points. And really and truly, Montoya, what he needs is an uneventful evening. Just get a solid finish, a good race under their belt.
He settles in 4th behind Vickers. Kurt Busch in the 78 challenging. Then Johnson up front. Bowyer, Kenseth. And a little close call back in the pack between David Stremmy's number 30 and David Rudiman's 83. Watch the cars in front of Danica.
Whoa, whoa. There's one way to get somebody out of your way. Just run into him.
Wind up down there, Phil.
Now David Stremme is 2 laps down. David Rudiman in that 83 car right there is 1 lap down.
And here comes Kenseth once again, Matt.
And Mike, under that pit stop, the NASCAR official passed on to the 20 team. It might be a good idea to try to take care of that metal on the side skirt that was hanging off. That way they can make sure it was secured. That's where they lost the 2 spots there on pit road, but they felt like it was really a blessing because they took care of the problem now and not had an issue later.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't rule out that part couldn't come off right there and go through that right rear tire. So I think for a lot of reasons it was good that they got it off or through someone else's tire.
Mighty small piece.
2.7 grams.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say it.
Riding with Greg Biffle in 19th. McMurray right behind. And pretty much single file through the field. Clint Bowyer leads Matt Kenseth by 3/4 of a second. 122 laps in at Richmond.
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by AT&T. Rethink possible. By Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR. And by the Dodge Dart. Dodge, new rules.
129 laps complete. Clint Bowyer's Toyota out in front of Matt Kenseth, who is 9/10 of a second back. Bowyer beat Kenseth getting off pit road when the 20 team had to remove that offending piece of metal down below hanging below the exhaust pipes. And here's what Jason Ratcliffe told Matt Kenseth about it.
Sorry, man. Your old pit road at NASCAR asked us to cut a piece off the side skirt. They could have let us know like 20 laps ago, right? What kind of deal is that? Get with that official right there. Tell him heads up here. We're in the ball game. Tell him no next time. Tell him no. Well, I was afraid if I told him no, they were just going to make me come back. What was wrong? Is that maybe what I was feeling? Maybe. Bottom of the side skirt, little bitty piece, about a ½ inch wide, was flopping on the bottom of the exhaust skirt. Why in the world did they make you fix that?
Just something to talk about.
But I couldn't agree more with Jason Ratcliffe. Better to give up those 3 or 4 spots than, as he said, if they made him come back to pit road with 30 drivers on the lead lap.
Right, because it's the official's discretion whether that piece of metal could cut somebody else's tire, could cause a caution.
Yeah, but
so
I know what he's saying. should have told us that we were going to have to fix that when we come into the pits, not wait till we're on pit road to tell us. So I understand what he was saying. Well, and I know why the official made him fix it. That could come off and cut a tire down.
Well, then it was heads up by the team to make that very quick repair. And he didn't lose more spots. Kenseth is now second behind Bowyer. 9 starts here for Marcos Ambrose without a DNF until maybe this evening. Here's what's fresh off the wire, brought to you by KFC. Jeff?
Yeah, I'm caught up here at Marcos Ambrose. Marcos, you brought the number 9 in. It looks like oil right underneath the car. What happened?
Yeah, it's terminal. We just had an engine problem, you know. When you push 880, 890 horsepower, when things go wrong, they go wrong pretty big. So we'll lick our wounds. It's just not really been our year so far. But we were fast tonight. We're going to feel proud of that. We're going next week, go get them there.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. That's what's fresh off the wire. First DNF for Ambrose since Texas last November. Here's 12th place. Kyle Busch, who everybody in this place thought would be a factor by this stage in the race. And he is back at 12th in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, everybody else on that last stop made some pretty good changes that picked up their speed, except the 18. He stayed about like he was. They need more adjustments.
What are they saying, Matt?
Well, Mike, you commented before that last round of pit stops that the 18 had started to fade with Kyle Busch behind the wheel, and simply he was surprised as well because he had taken so good care of his tires compared to the competition, but yet he had burned off those rear tires and the car was extremely loose on exit. He'd lost the drive off.
Just lost something else there. Off the left front, unless that was something that he looked like it was a chunk of rubber that he ran over that had already been on the racetrack.
Yeah, as the night goes on, we'll see more and more of those marbles build up out of the groove, and they start to kind of roll up into big balls after a while.
And this is another driver, Casey Kane, in that 5 that's been falling back. He was up there battling in the top 5. Jamie McMurray in the 1 just drove by him for the 17th position. So a lot like Kyle Busch, Casey Kane is fading in this run.
Kyle and Joey Logano now for 11th. And on the left side of your screen, Jimmy Johnson passes Brian Vickers for 4th.
Just saw a big piece of that rubber laying in the back straightaway back there, Mike. It just kind of all accumulates up into bigger pieces.
Jeff?
Mike, you guys were talking about what was coming off the race cars around the racetrack. Here's what it is. This came up underneath the number 9 car, left rear fender, just a moment ago. This is what's already came off in a short period of time, build up on the 9. I think you see a lot of this starting to fall off these cars the deeper we go in this race. We're also going to see this go to the top of the racetrack. Those marbles, get up out of the groove, they're going to get you in trouble.
And that's simply just rubber off the tires is what that is.
141 laps complete. Clint Bowyer in front of Matt Kenseth by 1.5 seconds. Montoya at 3rd, and a little contact here. Danica Patrick and David Strimmy. Cautions out at lap 147 in Richmond. Michael McDowell may have dropped some fluid in the back straightaway. Here we recap pit stops. Jimmy Johnson way at the turn 4 end of pit road.
Yeah, watch him. He has an opening essentially in front of him because Joe Nemechek is several laps down. But because he's in a little bit of a curve, when he leaves, he's going to drive straight toward the right rear of Brad Keselowski's car and just straightens that part of pit road out, which is perfectly legal.
All right, now watch Joey Logano in the center, who just got into his pit right behind Matt Kenseth. Clint Bowyer, you see on the bottom left, he's going to come firing out. And then Kenseth gets away, and things going to get kind of close as Harvick gets out by inches, but has to battle Kyle Busch to the end of the pit lane and Martin Truex.
It really bottles up and really it narrows up to some degree down there at the very exit of pit road.
So Bowyer retains the lead at lap 148 of 400. Our Toyota race summary. 31 lead lap cars. David Rudiman gets the free pass on this 3rd caution of the night. 3 lead changes and 3 cautions for 13 laps.
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by Chevy Silverado, the one you depend on, the one that lasts.
151 complete, third caution of the night. And on his pit stop, Casey Kane, who had been dropping back, was in the pits for a long time, Steve.
And Mike, his car had just gotten evil tight. They kept trying to adjust on it. Finally, on this stop, they put a spring rubber in the right rear spring, and that's why they lost so many positions.
Hendrick Motorsports has 10 victories here, but the last one came 5 years ago.
Now what that does, when you stiffen up the right rear spring, the car doesn't sink down so much on the right rear. It will free the car up and let it roll the center.
Getting ready for the restart. If you're wondering about all that full moon, short track, Saturday night stuff, well, the moon is up in the clouds, and that is preventing it from doing its magic, if you will.
It's early.
Well,
still early.
It is a pink moon.
So let's restart at lap 153 of 400. Matt Kenseth's yellow Toyota on the outside of Clint Bowyer. And Bowyer leads them to green. Montoya Chevrolet, the 42, is right there with him.
Yeah, just follow up on the pink moon. This time of year, when the moon is out, when you have a full moon, that's called a pink moon, and that means it's springtime. Summer's coming.
Boy,
Kurt
what a
Busch,
battle for fourth there.
Busch is 78, fighting hard with Jimmy Johnson.
And you know what? Kurt Busch don't care if that's 5-time or not. He'll rub the numbers right off the side of that 48.
A one-time versus 5-time champion of this series, and Busch prevails. Lap car, Brian Keselowski, Brad's older brother. How about a Saturday night NASCAR on Fox? Rank it up. Caution. Brad Keselowski hits the wall in turn 2.
Significant right front damage. Got a flat or something down the straightaway. All right, 10-4.
Lap 157. Keselowski was running 17th.
And you can see that right front tire is down, and that was the indication I had when I looked up. The car went straight to the wall.
Of course, with the right front tire down, we don't run that interliner safety shield inside the tires at a short track, and that's probably sway bar arms, A-frames, frame, everything else dragging.
But Larry, I like what I see, that the tire itself doesn't have a lot of damage on it. I don't think he hit the wall all that hard.
Way up the racetrack already.
Got into it pretty hard.
But he managed to arc through most of the turn before he hit. It's right along with Greg Biffle.
Slowing up high, hitting the fence out ahead of you, the 2. Slowing up high. Caution, caution, caution.
And Darrell, if you get a flat that soon after a restart, chances are you possibly got together with someone and maybe knocked the valve stem off or cut that right front down.
Steve?
A little bit of change of plans here, Mike. Initially, Darian Grubb said stay out. Then the 11 decided, he said bring it to pit road. They're making a chassis adjustment for Brian Vickers as well, 4 tires.
Tony Stewart's in, Jeff Gordon, Jamie McMurray, Almirola, Kane, and Stenhouse among the takers in the pit lane.
Well, anytime you're back in the field and you can come in and get 4 tires, that'd give you an advantage if this thing goes green for a while.
Brad Keselowski pounds the wall between turns 1 and 2. We're under caution. Well, here's proof that it's full moon Saturday night. Experts say it's best to water lawns in the early evening or early morning, around 3 a.m. So note to the grounds crew, deactivate the sprinklers on race night, please.
Yes, I'd say we have a small 911 here.
Building up pressure, I know that.
So we're under caution. I don't think we've ever been under caution for sprinklers before.
Just when we think we've seen it all.
So let's take an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint. Jimmie Johnson is the biggest mover in this race. He's up 21 spots from where he started. Get unlimited access to NASCAR with the NASCAR Mobile 13 app and truly unlimited data from Sprint. No metering, no throttling, no overages on the Sprint network. Learn more at sprint.com/speed. You know, I don't think the heavy stuff is going to come down for quite some time.
Everybody's putting on their raincoats.
And there's not a whole lot the guy in the truck can do about the sprinkler system.
He could park over it.
Everybody pulled up there and said, hey, I think I found the leak.
Steve Burns.
It's been a rough night for the Biff. Greg Biffle had to come to pit road earlier tonight when a lug nut came loose just now. Mike, they had to come down pit road because they had a broken left front shock.
So it sounds like that caution came at the right time for Greg Biffle, because he's still on the lead lap even though he's back in 30th. So I guess that was a great time for that caution to come for Greg Biffle. And Brad Keselowski, he has stayed on the lead lap as well in that too.
And Larry, I watched him get in and out of the pits, and it doesn't look like that car has a lot of damage to it.
Next Sunday, it's the Aaron's 499 at Talladega. Then we go back to Saturday night, Mother's Day weekend, May 11th, the Southern 500 at Darlington. And Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race on the tour, May 26th, beginning at 5:30 Eastern and racing into prime time. Krista?
Mike, I'm in Brad Keselowski's pit. The crew continues to work on the right rear. Yeah, not a whole lot of damage. They've come in and changed right side tires and came back in and changed the left sides. The only quandary he might have is the steering may be off just a little bit from that contact with the wall.
And Greg Biffle in as well. That Red Cross Ford back out. Matt?
Hey, Mike, an update of the 15 of Clint Bowyer. Brian Patty told Clint that they've made small adjustments every stop, but they feel like this car will be much better when they come back for the fall race here, because the temperatures, the ambient temperatures, will be much higher. Right now, it's only about 63 degrees.
Yeah, Michael should tell Clint if he wins tonight, he's going to get him one of those big clocks from Martinsville.
Why not?
Because he was torn up, and he didn't get that one last couple weeks ago.
Well, Darrell, consider this. Bowyer has led 60 laps tonight. Prior to this evening, how many laps has he led this season? One lap at Daytona.
One.
That's
exactly.
it.
But Mike, you pointed out to me, since he joined Michael Waltrip Racing at the beginning of 2012, he has finished in the top 10 in every single short track race, including that win here last September.
Pretty good combination between he and Brian Patty as crew chief. They really complement each other very, very well.
Lining up for the restart. Play Fox Fantasy Auto Racing presented by Ford and pick your team of 5 drivers each week to compete for weekly prizes all season long. Sign up tonight at foxsports.com/fantasy. Pick your winning team.
Biffle back on pit road here.
We will restart with 32 lead lap cars. I have Josh Wise down for the free pass.
And you know, Biffle's never won a short track race. I couldn't believe it when we were looking at it earlier today.
So up front, the front row Toyotas. The next 3 Chevrolets, Montoya, Kurt Busch, and Johnson. Then the Toyotas of Martin and Kyle Busch. Harvick, Truex, and the first Ford is Logano in 10th. There's a look back at your lead lap cars. We're back under green.
The restarts here are so intense. You've got to kind of hang on the bottom, and you know if you get shoved up out of the groove very much, there's that loose stuff. Those rubber marbles are up out of the groove, and you're in trouble.
Kurt Busch coming on the outside against Montoya. That's 2 bulls, 1 China shop.
It just depends on how you look at it.
And neither one will give up 3rd place.
That little 78 car is going somewhere tonight. He's on it.
right behind this group, somebody's kind of starting to show up. Kyle Busch, that 18 car, looks like they keep making it better for him.
I thought you were talking about Jimmy Johnson in that 48
He's been there
car.
for the last number of laps.
He's in the hunt now. The usual suspects are starting to find their way to the front.
Yes, they are. We're getting close to halfway.
What a great run for Montoya, though. The last time Chip Ganassi had a top 5 finish was in Bristol 2011. Jamie McMurray finished 5th.
And Mike, they made the swap over to the Hendrick engines during the offseason, and Montoya and McMurray both keep whoa! He got Kurt Busch that time in the 78.
That won't go over well.
No, it will not.
He might want to give that back. Sometimes when you get into a guy, and especially a guy like Kurt Busch, sometimes you say, whoops, I'm sorry about that, dude. Let me let you get back in front of me. It doesn't happen often, but I think it happened just then.
Just a little cooling off period.
Well, I'd rather have that guy in front of me than I had to have him behind me.
Good point.
Mike, what I was saying, Montoya and McMurray both keep telling us they know this program is headed in the right direction. We just keep chipping away at it. Here you're riding with Jamie McMurray sitting in the 13th spot right now in the 1.
And Larry, I've mentioned this a couple of times, but they're with the Hendrick Motorsports engine program this year. You don't just get an engine. Hendrick Motorsports wants that engine in that car. They want that car to run good, and they give him a lot of other assistance.
Well, he's got the same power as the 39, Ryan Newman, that he's battling with, and Casey Kane right behind.
Mike, when you think about Casey Kane, it was not that many laps ago that he restarted back in the 30th position. He's already back up to 14th with that 5 car.
Well, that spring rubber it turned that car around. It got that car where it would roll through the center, and he's back in the throttle, and now he's going somewhere.
Right behind him, he's got a mirror full of Carl Edwards. Edwards Ford has gained 13 spots since the start of this one.
That's a guy that I thought would probably run really good tonight, Carl Edwards, after the way he ran here last year. That program is really coming around. He and Jimmy Finning as crew chief. I expected some good things out of them tonight.
And Tony Stewart, whose team is trying to rebound here. Steve?
Mike, the 14, you see him go by the 99. The 14 has actually been tight at both ends. Carl Edwards of the 99, his car has been loose.
And Tony Stewart now has cracked the top 15. Wasn't that long ago, he was just about to go a lap down before a caution came out.
Let's check back at the lead. Clint Boyer up 0.7 of a second over Matt Kenseth. Those two drivers have led every lap tonight between them. 23 laps to halfway.
You know, another driver that just keeps chipping away is Kevin Harvick in that 29 car. Started back in the 17th. We got the report that they were trying to adjust on that race car during these cautions, and now he's cracked the top 10 up to the 7th position.
Yeah, got right behind him too, Larry, just out of nowhere. Here comes Mark Martin in the 55. He's right there.
Martin spent the first 100 laps or so in the top 10. And now at 8th with Martin Truex, his MWR Toyota teammate, 9th.
This little team of Martin Truex Jr., they've come to life. Really terrible start to 2013, but he's had 2 back-to-back top 5 finishes at Texas and Kansas.
Martin needs to win a race. If he win a race, I think it changes. I think it just make all the difference in the world in him and his team.
Behind him, Joey Logano, whose team is here intact, waiting for their appeal for suspension parts to be heard on Wednesday. Carl Edwards trying Casey Kane. Edwards on the inside for 14th spot, and that didn't quite happen. Edwards tries again.
You heard him say Carl's car was a little bit loose. When you're down under somebody like that on corner exit, you're just hoping that thing doesn't come sideways, but you can get into the guy on the outside of you.
The 2 highest placed Fords in the race are Logano in the 22 and Edwards. Matt?
2 top 5s in the last 4 races for Logano, Mike, in the 22 car. But Joey says they still need to focus in the center of the corner. The last change, which was a track bar adjustment, has not helped the race car. He's still fighting too tight in the center.
You see the battle on the right. We talked about Casey Kane. Darrell, it looks like to me that he ran off of those fresh tires for a few laps, and now he's really starting to back up. Dale Earnhardt Jr., his teammate, all over the back of him now.
Yep. That's a big change when you, on a track like this, when you put a spring rubber in that right rear. It probably stiffened that spring up 25 to 50 pounds, depending on the durometer of their spring rubber, and that's a huge change.
There's the margin. Now it's 1 second. Boyer to Kenseth, and another second to Kurt Busch's Chevrolet in third. 2 Toyotas, then 3 Chevrolets in the top 5. 16 laps to halfway in Richmond.
Every week it fascinates me the pace of these cars and how fast the races are and how fast the lap times are. We do have drop-off, but these cars are so much faster than the cars last year.
Yeah, we set our 5th new track record in 2013 last night with Matt Kenseth sitting on the pole.
That's right. I think 5 cars broke the track record in qualifying here.
I think that's one thing that makes the racing so intense. The cars are faster. The cars have a lot faster closing rate. You see that right there. You catch a guy, you pass him. That's different than what we've seen in the past.
There, one thing I noticed about Jamie McMurray in the 1 car the last time he went through turn 1 and 2, they're about the middle of turn 2 to the exit, about right there, he actually starts to dip that left front down on the apron out of that 14 degrees of banking, which tell me maybe his car is a little bit on the tight side.
Probably so, Larry, because it'll kind of de-wedge it a little bit when you put that left wheel down there like that. It'll help the car turn.
Oh, we're all just getting ready for our Fox mid-race report as the sprinklers come back on. We're under green here in Richmond.
The Toyota Owners 400 on Fox is sponsored by FedEx. FedEx does more than shipping. FedEx, solutions that matter. By Subway, the official training restaurant of Carl Edwards and athletes everywhere. And by Toyota. Let's go places. You're watching NASCAR on Fox from Richmond live under the lights, and time for the AT&T mid-race report. Clint Bowyer is your leader. I hope you're enjoying the race so far. Pole sitter Matt Kenseth racing under an appeal from infractions last Sunday. Led 105 laps tonight, and reigning champ Brad Keselowski straight the wall, has ground to make up, currently 22nd, but he overcame contact early last week and had a finish at 6th. Darrell, who are you keeping an eye on?
Well, Chris, you can call me maybe, but I'm looking at the 78 car. He's had 2 top 5s in the last 5 races. This little race team, they won Darlington a couple of years ago. Keep an eye on Kurt Busch.
You can't bet against Jimmie Johnson. He's come from 26 to the top 5. They're making adjustments. The last few laps, he's been faster than anybody. Watch Jimmie Johnson. He'll close this deal, Larry Mack.
Yeah, Michael, earlier this month, Clint Bowyer was so disappointed he finished 2nd to Jimmie Johnson at Martinsville. Now, it may not be for our grandfather clock here at Richmond, but Krista, I think Clint Bowyer gets his 2nd consecutive win at Richmond.
I don't know, Larry. A run like this is just what the doctor orders for Juan Pablo Montoya. All he has asked for all night is more drive off. He just came on the radio and said, right now we are getting a little loose. This is the best run he's had all year. Right, Joy?
Let's not forget about Kyle Busch. He's won the last 4 Richmond spring races. And Chris, in 8 races here in the spring, his average finish is 2nd. 1 or 2 for Kyle Busch.
And Mike, Dale Earnhardt Jr. came in 5th in points, has not been in the top 15 the last 3 races. He hopes to improve on that in the second half. And Virginian Denny Hamlin, who couldn't race tonight, watching Brian Vickers in his 11 car. Hamlin telling us the plan is for him to at least start the race in Talladega next Sunday, but still rooting for teammate Vickers in the 11 to finish strong in this race. That's your AT&T mid-race report. It's Bowyer, Kenseth, and Kurt Busch. Will continue in a moment. The Toyota Owners 400 on Fox is sponsored by AT&T. Rethink possible.
We're just past halfway in the Toyota Owners 400. Joe Nemechek comes to pit road. We're under green at lap 208. Clint Bowyer has no lead over Matt Kenseth because they got caught up in traffic. Bowyer took a long time getting past David Rudiman, and that allowed Kenseth to close right in. Two Toyota battling up front, Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson, and Chevy's behind them. Then Kyle Busch, Montoya, McMurray, and Harvick.
We heard Matt Kenseth in the 20 call into his crew chief for a spotter. I'm not sure which voice I heard, wanting to know where the 15 car of Clint Bowyer was running. It looked to me like Matt changed his line a little bit based on the information he got, and that gap shrunk.
They are tied for leading laps tonight. No one else has led a lap except these two drivers, Matt.
Mike, earlier in this run, Brett Griffin, Clint Bowyer's spotter, told Clint that it looked like the 15 car was rolling the center of the corner much better than Kenseth in the 20, but now Clint says that his car is getting tighter and tighter in the center and possibly using his brakes even more. They're a little more red.
And that's you talk about the blowing rotors. That is an indication to the crew chief how his car is handling. Because if those things are glowing red all the time, that means your car's not handling very well, and you're having to really slow it down with the brakes. If you don't see them glowing much, that's a good sign.
How about Brad Keselowski in that 2 car? He was the last caution back on lap 157, and now he's up there battling Dale Earnhardt Jr. for 15th.
This is the guy that, if depending on what happens to the Penske group and their penalties, Brad Keselowski will miss Paul Wolfe tremendously. His crew chief. Paul makes some amazing calls and does a great job with his team.
Team did a great job keeping him on the lead lap with all that damage when he hit the wall between turns 1 and 2. Teammates Montoya and McMurray continue to impress, Steve.
And for the 1 car of Jamie McMurray, the car started out really loose, Mike. The team adjusted to it. The car has tightened up really well. It's come right into the racetrack. Just a moment ago, Jamie McMurray asked Kevin Manion, the crew chief, hey, how are my brake rotors? Can you see them? Kevin Manion said, nope, they look good, buddy. Sail on. Krista?
Meanwhile, his teammate Steve Juan Pablo Montoya fighting a little bit of a loose condition, but he has a calming voice in his ear. That being spotter Derek Nealon. This is the first year the two have worked together. Crew chief Chris Leroy calls Derek a diamond in the rough.
But what a story when you look at those 2 drivers right there. Total in 2012, they only had 5 top 10 finishes. And here they're both running in the top 10 tonight.
Remember who sat on the pole and led 105 laps earlier? Matt Kenseth wants the lead back from Bowyer.
Here's what I know. Bowyer's probably driving pretty much as hard as he can go, because that's how he drives. Matt, on the other hand, he's back there just kind of nibbling. We'll just follow him along a little bit and see if he can worry him to death.
And we're about 20 laps from what will be green flag pit stops if we don't get a caution.
Matt Kenseth's led more laps tonight than he ever has at Richmond. And we still have 183 laps to go. Green flag pit stops may be in the offing. Stay with us. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. Richmond is a beautiful place to visit. All that Civil War history, great architecture, of the vibrancy of a college town, and great restaurants. Lots of them. Matt Kenseth has taken the lead back after Clint Bowyer led for 113. Kenseth's now led for the same amount. Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson, and now Kyle Busch have all driven past Clint Bowyer.
Yeah, I think what Bowyer has done, he's used his stuff up. I mean, we're getting close to pit stops, and that's okay, but I think he's used his stuff up, Jeff.
Yeah, Darrell, you talk about pit stops that are getting ready to come about. Don't forget, this is a real tricky pit road to get on. We've seen guys miss the end of pit road or almost or hit the end of pit wall. You got to be careful. So you're a crew chief. You better start reminding your driver. Don't mess up. Don't get caught speeding coming in. And please don't miss the end of pit road.
And it's such a chess match scratch here because fresh tires are worth so much, but if you pit too soon, you can go almost 2 laps down while making a green flag stop should a caution come out.
Our series champion has had quite a night, Brad Keselowski. Here's a look at his night. With that flat tire, he dropped to the tail end of the lead lap and has climbed right back up to 11th. So, Darrell, you were right. He didn't hit the wall that hard and didn't do a lot of damage.
No, he didn't hit it that hard, but again, a tip of the hat to Paul Wolfe and his team. They were able to patch that car up. You can see, just like last week, they had to do some repair work last week, but they kept him in the race, kept him on the lead lap. We know Brad will drive it to the front if it's halfway decent.
Seventh place. Montoya trying to hold off Carl Edwards, who goes to the bottom and takes the spot.
Longest green flag run we've had, and I think we're truly seeing who has the best car for the long run. But Darrell, I'm looking at Matt Kenseth, and I couldn't agree with you more with what you said in the pre-race show. I can just see Joe Gibbs gathering that 20 group, just like he would have done with the Redskins, and said, guys, we know what happened to us at Kansas with the penalty, and we got to caution Greg Biffle sliding across the infield here.
You're right, Larry. I think that's what Coach Gibbs did. And that 16 car spun around on the track.
Biffle gets it righted again, but caution is out for the 5th time tonight at lap 231. Had to slide right through some of that sprinkler grass. And the right rear down on Biffle's car. Here's a look at it.
Just got loose, late exit.
I've seen that happen here up off that corner. Get a little wheel spin and around she goes. You hear the wheels start to break loose and around it goes.
Biffle was 31st a lap down.
Yeah, he's had a rough night. Shock broke, and man, fireworks.
But he's on pit road, and he will get to his pit stall as here come all the lead lap cars, Krista.
We mentioned this was the longest green flag run for Jimmie Johnson. It meant he would get loose in late in the run, especially in turn 1. So you see the crew making some adjustments as they make their 4-tire change. Steve?
Krista, this caution comes at a good time for Jamie McMurray because he had just remarked that his right rear tire was used up, Matt.
Excellent run so far by the 78 of Kurt Busch. Remember, he was 4th back at Bristol. No changes on the last stop. Meanwhile, our leader, Matt Kenseth, he said, if anything, we need to work more on the front part of the race car. It was a little bit tight earlier in that run.
And Kurt Busch almost beats Kenseth off pit road. Great stop for that Furniture Road team.
That little team is pumped up tonight. Kurt's driving the wheels off the old car, and the team is responding likewise.
When she's clicking on the racetrack, it's clicking on pit road.
Under caution for the 5th time tonight.
NASCAR on Fox live in Richmond, Virginia. Time for an AT&T race break, the nation's fastest 4G LTE network. And a quick recap on the pole. Matt Kenseth, his crew chief. They were fine, but the appeal coming up. Jason Ratcliffe upset, but Kenseth taking it out on the field, dominating in the first half of this race, leading 123 laps within problems.
Yeah, a little side skirt came loose on the side of this race car, and look, the crew guy has to snip it off. NASCAR requested that they remove it. That's the piece that was in question. Cost him a couple of spots on the restart.
Meanwhile, Brad Keselowski, instead of blue, he's in a red car here, has some problems in the wall.
Amazing job. Did you see that car hit the wall? It jumped off the ground. They got to pit road. Paul Wolfe, his crew chief, orchestrated the changes. That's why that's such a potent combination, those two.
And then moments ago, Greg Biffle, 18 career wins, but none on a short track, and problems for the 16.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's like something broke in the front of the car. You can see the right front tire is towed in, so something definitely broke, blew out all of his tires, spun out. Bad night for the Biff.
And even though Toyotas have dominated between Matt Kenseth and Clint Bowyer with 113 laps, Hendrick cars have won the short track races this year. Let's head back upstairs.
Thanks, Chris. Getting ready to restart after 239 laps complete. Matt Kenseth and Kurt Busch will share the front row for the restart. Kyle Busch, Jimmie Johnson, Clint Bowyer, Jamie Mack, Carl Edwards, and Juan Montoya. As we get ready to restart, there will be 27, make that 28 cars on the lead lap. David Reagan got the free pass. Congratulations to Ryan Gifford. The 24-year-old got his first career win in the K&N Pro Series East here Thursday night in the Blue Ox 100. And tomorrow, the Spring Sizzler at Stafford, Connecticut for the Whelen Modifieds. Bobby Santos and Todd Szegedy, the fast qualifiers. John Hollins, the Grand Marshal, for what they call the greatest race in the history of spring. Pace car is in, getting ready to restart. It'll be 161 laps to go. Kenseth, Kurt Busch. And it's a Busch brother battle for second.
A little bit of tough sledding on that outside on these restarts.
Kurt looks like he'll be able to possibly slide down in front behind his brother Kyle Busch in the 18 before Boyer and the 15 got there.
Well put, Larry. He slid right in there.
Side by side, McMurray and Mark Martin.
Oh, now.
55 in the 1. Behind them comes Keselowski, who dropped from 8th to 18th with the number 2 during that pit stop.
You can have, you know what, that third turn over there, we've seen some big ones over there like we see at Talladega and Daytona.
Kevin Harvick in that 29 getting pretty aggressive on this restart. Look at Tony Stewart in the 14, the run he got off turn 2.
There at the front of the field, the cream is starting to rise to the top. The guys that are up there in the front right now are all guys that have wins here.
Boy, Stewart had to go because it was really clogging up right there going into turn 3. Martin Truex Jr. behind McMurray.
You know, right behind Martin Truex Jr. in this 56 we're looking at, A.J. Allmendinger running a limited schedule in this 51 car. He's been off doing some IndyCar racing back here at Richmond, sitting there in the 14th position.
Jeff Burton to the inside. Trying to catch Allmendinger into turn number 1 and does.
Oh, they're 3 wide off of turn 2. Will they make it? No. I think somebody got the wall over there. I believe it was the 22 of Joey Logano.
Let's see that 3 wide, Darrell.
Yeah, they're coming off. I just don't know if this is going to work out for Logano, who's trapped way on the outside. They get into the corner. Casey Kane, Ryan Newman, Joey Logano, 3 wide.
Something's got to give.
Somebody's going to.
Yep.
And that's when you also flirt with cutting one of those tires down or knocking a valve stem out.
Oh, it's close. That's because Casey Kane had to cut him some slack on the bottom there. That was crazy.
Yeah, Bobby Labonte almost got into Kane. Labonte now 22nd behind Stenhouse.
Yeah, you look at the left rear tire on the 39 car of Ryan Newman. That's had a lot of contact to that left rear tire. That's something to keep an eye on. You see all the letters rubbed off of it, and he is not a happy man. He's very unhappy.
That's a little bit of the chrome horn right there to Casey Kane. And Newman comes back on the inside.
Now that's the Richmond I know.
Yeah, how would you like a blooming onion?
But Logano tries to capitalize on the outside. This isn't over.
Now these guys are pretty serious right in here.
Now this whole group of drivers, they're on the lead lap battling for position.
Newman sends it in on the inside. Casey Kane trying to get away from this group. Newman and Logano have a history together.
Yes, they do. And it may continue. Remember what I said about keeping your friends close.
Last night, a dust-up between 2 drivers after the nationwide race. Carried outside the speedway and ended up with 2 crewmen getting a ride to the Roll Bar Motel and charges filed. Steve Burns.
Hey, Mike, once Casey Kane cleared that fracas with the 39 of Ryan Newman, he got on the radio and he said, well, that was weird.
I can hear Casey saying that.
Casey Kane back in the 18th position. We just saw Carl Edwards in that 99 go by Jimmy Johnson in the 48, but right now these teammates
battle for the lead's closing up.
Yeah, that 18 car, Larry, he's on his game now. They got it fixed up, and we know what he can do here. Matt?
DW, Matt Kenseth spotter. Chris Osborne told Matt that the 18 of Kyle Busch is much better rolling the center of the corner. They feel like that's where he's gaining some ground on Matt. They made an air pressure adjustment on that 18 in the last stop. It certainly seems to help.
Boy, I'll say they have dialed that thing right in, and at the right time, too.
And leave it to Joe Gibbs. If any team owner in this garage area can take a team from the adversity of last week, a single part was measured and was slightly underweight, a part that they did not put in the engine, that they did not touch. But NASCAR came down hard on the team. Joe Gibbs rallied his troops, and here they are, 1-2. They won the pole. They're racing for the win.
That silhouette of Joe Gibbs sitting there with that headset on. What a picture. What a great leader.
We talked about it at the top of the show. Kyle Busch trying to get his 5th consecutive win in the spring race here at Richmond. He just took the lead from his teammate Matt Kenseth.
If you're Kyle Busch and you've won 4 of these things in a row, and you've been messing around, you know, mid-pack or top 15, and now it's 150 laps to go, and this is about the time you would like to say, see ya, don't want to be ya.
We know we have at least one more pit stop to make.
.256 laps complete next time by. Kyle Busch now in front of teammate Matt Kenseth.
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. By Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. By STP, STP and Go. And by Verizon. This Mother's Day, get Mom a Lucid 2 by LG for free. Restrictions apply.
262 laps in. J.J. Yeley unscheduled pit stop. Kyle Busch out front by a second and a half. Older brother Kurt has moved his Chevrolet into second place. Passing Matt Kenseth. There's a look at Kurt with 137 to go. Matt Kenseth holding on to third place, 2.4 seconds off the lead.
Holding on is right, too, Mike, because that car is really falling back.
And at fourth place, Carl Edwards has passed Clint Boyer. So Edwards now 3 seconds off the lead and trying to close.
Remember, this is a guy that could have won this race here last year, Carl Edwards, in the 99 car. And that thing is coming on pretty strong here late in the day.
Good time for a NASCAR on Fox Saturday night. Rank it up. Matt Kenseth, former teammates at Roush Fenway Racing. This season, Kenseth moved over to Joe Gibbs, being forward for Toyota. And Carl Edwards continues to close on the leaders.
Yeah, you can see Matt's car has tightened up in the middle of the corner. It's not rolling through the center like it was when he was leading the race, and that's where Carl is gaining on him.
Toyota race summary with 131 laps to go. Matt Kenseth has led the most laps, 140. Clint Bowyer has led 113. Kyle Busch 16 laps. Still 28 cars on the lead lap. 5 caution flags so far. And in the garage, Joe Nemechek, Brian Keselowski, McDowell, Ambrose, and Bliss. The Busch brothers have never finished 1-2. Could tonight be their night? .123 laps to go on short track Saturday night, but next week, Talladega Super Speedway, the errand's $4.99, and your Sunday ticket is your pass to the infield for a special Saturday night concert with Chris Young. There's the phone number. There is the website for tickets to Talladega. Free on-site camping, Cinco de Mayo. Kyle Busch trying to win his 5th straight spring race at Richmond. Right now, 1.4 seconds ahead of his older brother, former series champion Kurt in the 78. They've never finished 1-2 in their career.
It's a great night for the 78, but it's right behind them is the 99 car, Carl Edwards. What a great run he's having tonight. He and Jimmy Fenning, his crew chief. I like where they're headed with this team.
The 2 drivers who've led the most laps tonight are fading. Clint Bowyer has dropped back to 4th after leading 113 laps.
The driver behind him, Juan Pablo Montoya, qualified in the 6th position, looking for his first top 5 finish in almost 2 years.
And we just heard Matt Kenseth say, man, I hope we don't have a long run. Well, it's a little late to hope that, because we're on a pretty long run here and his car is falling off.
Right now he's running laps 3/10 slower than race leader his teammate Kyle Busch. Jimmy Johnson's been up to the top 5. Wasn't quite able to stay there, but after starting 26th, he is running in 7th in the 48.
Little Mark Martin clicking them off here also in the top 10. Running 8th. Mark doing a nice job tonight, as always, in the 55 car.
Brad Keselowski in the 2 started deep in the field, bounced off the turn 2 wall, and has come back to the top 10. 9th place.
Reminds me back in the day, you used to wreck a car and you learned more about your car when you wrecked it than you did when nothing happened to it. I think they learned a lot about that car tonight.
See Kevin Harvick there, the 29 car, 6 of the last 7 races this year. He's finished 12th, 13th, and 14th. Stuck in a rut. Right now, though, in the 10th spot.
Behind him, Jamie McMurray, whose Ganassi Chevrolet is 11th. He and Montoya both having a good night here on the short track.
Not too far behind. You see that car there, the 14 car of Tony Stewart. He's having a really nice night tonight. This team needs something good to happen to them. They have been struggling. Everybody said, what's wrong with Stewart-Haas? Tonight could solve some of their problems.
Yep, they're solid. They're 12th. Martin Truex Jr. in the 13th position, started 9th. Has been a top 15 car all night, but on this run, unable to move forward.
Speaking of drivers that need something good to happen here in 2013, Jeff Burton in that 31 car on 1 top 10 finish this year and sitting there in 14th position.
Yeah, and shadowing Jeff there in the 24 car is another Jeff Gordon. Larry, I kind of wrote him off early in the race. He fell back through the field. Car didn't look very good, but they've done a nice job of getting him back in the race too.
Yeah, fell all the way back to the mid-20s. He's 15. A.J. Allmendinger, IndyCar, stock car, doesn't matter. He'll jump in it and make it go. Driving for James Finch tonight. He's up 8 positions from where he started.
What an up and down night for Casey Kane. Ran up in the top 5, looked like he was going to contend for the win. A lot of major adjustments. They've just lost the handle on this 5 car, sitting back in 17th.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s last lap 0.3 of a second quicker than Kyle Busch, but Busch now back on pace, matching Jr.'s lap times. His Chevrolet in 18th, running just about right where he started.
And here's Bobby Labonte right behind Dale Jr. And you know, we haven't had a whole lot to say. We haven't talked a whole lot about Bobby Labonte. This is one of the best runs I've seen out of this team in a while.
Will make his 700th career start when we head to Talladega next week.
Joey Logano will complete the top 20. His Ford started 7th tonight. We've seen him 3 wide a few times. Not of his own making. But looking to rebound here. He is the 3rd Ford in the race. And Paul Menard for Richard Childress Racing, running in 21st. Another Chevrolet, Ryan Newman, in 22nd.
And in the 11 car, Brian Vickers subbing for Denny Hamlin. I'm not sure what happened to them. I thought they would be a contender. They started up front on the outside pole, but just haven't been able to get the handle on the car.
Darian Grupp brought him in for a stop when hardly anybody else came, so they got off cycle on pit stops. Rookie Ricky Stenhouse, 24th right now, started 12th. And right on his tailpipe is Landon Castle, giving Joe Falk, who owns that car, is a Richmond area native, so they're having a good ride tonight. Brad Keselowski on pit road. Krista.
Yeah, Mike, a small vibration that they kept saying was getting worse. They were trying to hang out there, especially knowing that they might be just shy of the fuel window if this thing continues to stay green, but they had to come in with that small vibration.
And as he pits, Travis Kvapil hit the wall in 2, hit it again in 3. Can't get down to the bottom of the racetrack. Caution's out.
Yep.
There.
Couldn't have
Clear
been.
the bottom, clear the bottom.
What a terrible break for the 2 car. Oh my gosh.
He was 9th, Darrell.
Yeah, what he'll be able to do, though, he will stay out and he'll take the wave around. He did go a lap down, so if nothing else, at least going to put him back on the lead lap.
And Larry, he had a problem on the right front there. I don't know what it was. Maybe that's that fender damage. Seemed like it slowed the stop down a little bit.
And he may not need the wave around. I believe Keselowski, 1 lap down now, will be the free pass on this caution.
The net result will be the same. He'll be on the lead lap at the back of the field, so he's going to be on the lead lap.
The advantage, though, is if he'd taken the wave around, he would have had to start behind the lapped cars. But with the free pass, he'll be the last lead lap car when we restart, and that'll be a big difference for him. Pit road's open, Krista.
Juan Pablo Montoya, the first time they made a wedge adjustment to change the handling was the last stop, and he said it worked. I'm still a little too tight through the middle, so expect them to make another adjustment. But again, the best night Juan Pablo Montoya has had in a long time. He's hoping it most certainly continues. Steve?
Carl Edwards says I'm just a little bit loose in, a little bit loose off. Let's not do much. 4 tires and a small air pressure adjustment, Matt.
For the Busch brothers, both their cars, the 18 and 78, their rotors look great, but Kurt in the 78, he needed to be freed up a little bit more, but no changes on that 78. And meanwhile, the 15 at Clint Bowyer, his car had swung way to the tight side. He was begging for adjustments.
Whoa, Kurt Busch came firing out of his pit stall and beats younger brother to the line.
That was close, man, and what a battle.
Not much brotherly love right there with Carl Edwards third. That's close. We're under caution in Richmond.
The Toyota Owners 400 on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.
All right, getting ready for the restart. Watch this race off pit road from back here. They come firing out of here. There comes Kurt Busch, threads the needle with younger brother Kyle and Carl Edwards.
I think part of the difference, you see right there, Kurt Busch has nobody in front of him. Kyle Busch in the 18 has to go around David Reagan in the 34. That may have been a little bit of the difference.
And there's the result. Brian Newman has made 2 extra stops on pit road. Remember when he was pounding on the back bumper of Casey Kane? Might have caused some damage to that 39. They're still working on it as the field comes into turn number 3 and gets ready for the restart, which will come from 102 laps to go.
This is when things are really going to get exciting.
Kurt and Kyle Busch. And it's Kurt out with the lead. Wow. Takes Carl Edwards with him off to turn 1.
Well, you don't get a jump like that on Kyle Busch very often, but Kurt took off. And Carl was right there with him. Carl said, I know how to do this.
And it's Chevy, Ford, Toyota. First time tonight. Kurt Busch, second time tonight he's led. First time anything but a Toyota's been up front tonight.
Well, I've been watching that 99 car, and he's been picking them off before that caution came out. And right now, that car looks pretty racy.
Yeah, think back to race number 2 of 2013 Phoenix. Very similar racetrack. In fact, that's the same car that Carl Edwards won at Phoenix with.
So it knows the way to victory lane. But is there a driver more motivated to get to victory lane, to try to repair his reputation and get back up to the elite level of this sport than Kurt Busch?
I just love what he's doing with his team. He is a championship winning driver. He's a top tier driver. And Todd Berrier, his crew chief, Barney Visser, the owner, they are all on board to try to put this team in victory circle and be one of the front runners. And they're getting it done tonight.
And he's had a big week Tuesday night in Washington, the Armed Forces Foundation Congressional Gala with a lot of senators and congressmen. Jeff Burton also attended. Then he went to Austin and tested a V8 Australian supercar in preparation for their race coming there this May. Traded rides with James Courtney. So he's had a lot of fun this week, but nothing so much fun as right now as he tries to hold off Carl Edwards for the lead.
You know what I see on both those cars there? No brake rotor heat. I didn't see any red brake rotors as they dove off into the third turn over there. So those cars are really handling good, Steve.
Hey, DW, one to add too. Jimmy Fennick told Carl Edwards they're good to go. That this thing stays green. We typically get cautions, but he can make it to the end if we don't.
He can make it to the lead too, because he's right there.
But Kurt Busch gets that high side run on turn 4, wound up, holds the lead, and crosses over in front of Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards played a little defense there. He was going to go underneath the 78 of Kurt Busch, but didn't have the room, and he had to play a little defense on Kyle Busch, the 18.
And they have all kinds of friends behind them now. Kyle Busch in the 18, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 back in the picture, and Clint Bowyer, who led this race in the 15.
Riding with Bowyer.
Larry, this is the point in the race when you make a statement. Either you got it or you don't. Right now, if you've got it, you got to use it, and that's what I see Kurt Busch doing. He is getting away from these guys a little bit.
Daryl, in my book, he's had one of the cars that's been good all night long. We've seen a lot of comers and goers, but he's been up there since the drop of the green flag.
All he's got to do is keep his fingers crossed. No. Saw a car go by here, the 93 car.
Quapple off pace, down to the apron, front straightaway.
Fire was flying out from under when I first looked down. That's why I said, oh.
But we stay green. Let's see if Quapple can make it back around to pit road and keep this race under green with 93 laps to go.
It'll be hard for him. Yeah,
caution.
I don't think he can make it.
To the garage. To the garage. Yep, 10-4 to the garage.
7th caution flag of the night. And his teammate David Rudiman will get the free pass as Travis Quapple's night goes up in flames.
Yeah, that got my attention when I saw that.
All right, now, no Steve Burns talked about Jimmy Fenning telling Carl Edwards he was good to go. We've run about 10 laps. I think we're going to see a busy pit road because I think putting fresh tires on is going to be the way to go. But now you absolutely can make it to the end on Sunoco race fuel.
Yeah, if I can make it, I'll stay out if I'm in the top 10. Anything back out of the top 10, I'm coming.
Let's see if Kurt Busch's team is a gambler. Pit road is open. He's staying out. So is Edwards. Kyle Busch is in. So is Johnson.
And you know what? Those 3 or 4 drivers that stayed out, Krista, that's a sick feeling.
It is, and they didn't know what they were going to do. They made the decision at the last minute for the 48 to come in just for 2 tires. Steve?
And the guys were up on the wall waiting for Kyle Busch to come. They were waiting to see what the leaders were going to do. If the leaders stayed out, they went back and forth, and Kyle made the decision himself to hit pit road. 4 tires going on for him.
So Kyle leads them off pit road, but Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, and Matt Kenseth stayed out.
Yeah, that's when you look in your rearview mirror and say, ruh-roh.
Even in last night's race, with cars that had less horsepower, fresh tires over 10 or 12 lap tires was huge.
Where'd that happen? That right front. Brian Vick, oh, right there with Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to get into their pit. We're back at Richmond, and there are penalties on this round of pit stops.
Commitment line violations on the 18, 11, and 33.
Watching the competition. Now, there is no orange cone this week. This is a short track, but there is a painted box on the track right where the line is, right there. And you have to be to the inside of that box if you are coming to pit road.
You have to treat it like a cone is there.
It's like the cone is there, exactly.
Yep.
See, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 just barely got inside of it.
So the penalties to Kyle Busch, the 11 of Brian Vickers, and the number 33 of Landon Castle.
That's a heartbreaker, boys. Just hard to, I know it's hard for Dave Rogers to be talking to Kyle right now.
That is a commitment line violation where you must commit to the pit road if you are coming.
Saying the scoring loop didn't catch you because you were too far out. I'd like them to look at the film, though, because you did have the left side just barely on it. Doesn't say anything in the driver's meeting or the rule book that says you have to cross the scoring loop. It just says you have to touch the left side tires on the box. I touched my left side tires on the box.
If that is in case, I mean, he was on the box with his left side tires. I thought you had to be inside the box.
Yeah, again, you have to treat it like a cone is there.
On it for you.
But this is a unique pit road here. It's such a short distance from the box or the cone into the commitment line down, or to the bench to pit road. So this could use some interpretation possibly.
I think Dave Rogers is asking to see it again and conferring with the NASCAR officials. So let's show it to him. There is the left front of Kyle's car just barely
on the
perhaps touching.
Yeah, it's on the box.
And we're told in the drivers meeting, they were told you must have 2 tires below the box.
That's pretty, that's real close.
So with 28 cars on the lead lap, that is where Landon Castle, Brian Vickers, and Kyle Busch will restart. Now, Jimmy Johnson was the first car off pit road. He only took 2 tires and was the first car off the pit lane. So he will line up 5th because Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman did not stop. Kyle Busch would have started 6th but for the penalty. Let's check with Chris Myers.
And some NASCAR headlines, Mike. Joe Gibbs Racing in the middle of controversy here with Kyle Busch and, of course, with Matt Kenseth and the 20 team. Among their penalties, 15 points that knocked Kenseth out. This is from last week in Kansas of the playoff chase at the moment. Gibbs appealing. Roger Penske still appealing. That comes up Wednesday. The penalty docked to Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano of Penske Racing. And Denny Hamlin, not racing tonight, had hoped to, but doctors said no with that fracture in the lower back in the vertebrae. But he says, he told us on the pre-race show, Denny Hamlin said he expects to be in Talladega, at least start the race, and have Brian Vickers, who's in his 11 car tonight, replace him in that race. And Mike, those are your NASCAR headlines up to the moment.
Thanks, Chris. We have 84 laps to go here in Richmond, and they're still doing cleanup from Travis Kvapil, who apparently lost an engine, or at least an oil line. And so once that is cleaned up and the track dryer completes its work, blowing things off the corners, we'll be ready to resume. And hey, just wait till next week.
The NASCAR on Fox road trip rolls on next week to Talladega, home of crazy speeds, crazier fans, and the most ridiculous wrecks in racing. Trust me, almost anything can happen.
Oh, no! He turns him! No! No!
This is as good as racing gets, and it's next week only on Fox.
That was Brad Keselowski. Looking forward to Talladega. Tonight, Matt Kenseth has led the most laps. He started on pole. He's been out for 140 circuits of this 3/4 mile. Clint Bowyer 113. But lately, it's been the Busch brothers. As Denny Hamlin looks on, standing in the number 11 pit during practice, he was offering advice to
his driver, his relief driver Brian Vickers, and to Matt Kenseth at Kenseth's request. And a clarification from NASCAR, without the cone there to have to drive inside, 2 tires have to be on that orange box if you are coming into pit road, and they judged that those 3 drivers did not have 2 tires come across the box. Take a look at the left rear here, Larry.
All right, you see the left front clips it, but as he's turning, I don't think, golly, it's close.
See how the left front could get it and the left rear couldn't. I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's the team.
They showed it. I mean, it is so close. It looks, to me, it looks like we're right on it, but the tower said we are not on it. Remember, leave it to NASCAR or leave it to somebody else to make a bad decision on your behalf, right, Joe?
Still reviewing it with NASCAR officials. And now, under review, NASCAR has determined that the 18 of Kyle Busch made a
looking at that, appreciate it.
Legal entry into pit road. There is no penalty. Kyle Busch retains 6th place. That's where he will restart.
That was so close. I would have. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they took the time to look at it.
Well, Darrell, I think to your point, because it is a unique situation, everywhere else there's a cone.
Yeah.
And even though you're supposed to keep that in perspective of a cone, it's definitely different.
All right, 1 to go. We listened in on Carl Edwards, who will start 2nd.
Well, we'll see how this goes here. I think we're going to be pushing it. We'll be close here. Yeah, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Like last time, you know, we stayed out with 5 laps and they all came back to us.
Behind the pace car, Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards.
Literally behind the pace car.
But you know what? It sounds like Carl's a little bit worried about his tire situation here. But you heard Jimmy Finning, his crew chief, say, yeah, but they came back to us. I think that's what he's talking about.
The first 4 cars did not pit. The next one, Jimmy Johnson, got 2 tires. Let's see how this shakes out.
Well, the 18 got 4, so
they will restart with 80 laps to go. Kyle Busch with the freshest tires near the front of the field. And here goes Busch and Edwards rocketing off into turn 1.
Boy, Jimmy, Carl got up there. Carl Edwards in the 99 got up a little high in that stage ride that was put down. That hurt him in turns 1 and 2.
Maybe that's why Kurt Busch elected the inside lane for the restart.
Well, Montoya in the 42 takes us to the inside of Johnson in the 48. He's wanting that spot away. But Montoya would be a driver that got 4 fresh tires on that stop.
Yeah, the other guy back in there, Kyle Busch, in the 18 car, he got 4 tires and he's going nowhere.
But he's stuck in that on that high line, it looks like.
Guys, this is the toughest part of this race so far. Different tire strategies. Jimmy's on 2 right in the middle of 3 wide. There's contact right there. Busch into the back of Johnson. This is what racing's all about. You got to just go for it within 100 laps to go, and that's exactly what these guys are doing. Racing with their hearts. I love this.
Yeah, that 18 car's in trouble. There's something wrong. He's just going backward. He can't get out of the box, and the car doesn't look like it's right at this point.
Darrell, the drivers that took 4 tires, how many laps will that give them an advantage?
Well, the thing they got to deal with here is low air pressure. And the cars that didn't take tires, their tires are already built up, so they don't have to worry about that.
And I think that may be the problem with Jimmy Johnson with only taking those 2 tires.
Out of balance.
Jimmy Johnson had contact from Martin Truex. And everything seems to sort out for the moment. Watch the 48 get kind of sandwiched up here with Newman and the 29 of Harvick, and then Truex, the 56, gets into Johnson. Kyle Busch gives him a nudge as well.
Johnson looked like a bumper car there. Everybody was hitting him.
And they were beating him on the left side, beating him in the back.
Still there.
Bam.
Still there.
Bam.
Keep coming. Still there. Still there. Still there. Clear.
75 to go. 3rd place. Montoya on the outside of Matt Kenseth, with Harvick looking on in the 29. Spin, turn 2.
Jimmy Johnson, I think.
Johnson and Stewart go around.
And there's Kyle Busch.
Bunch cars coming in.
You know, Jimmy Johnson was getting beat around pretty good. I don't know if somebody spun him or not, but he sure was getting beat around quite a bit there on those 2 tires. There's Tony Stewart in the 14 car. He got into it. Kyle Busch has damage in the 18 car right front.
Well, that was 3 of the most talented drivers in the sport. Watch Stewart's 14 and Johnson's 48.
You got Jeff Gordon lurking there behind him. Oh, Stewart gets loose. He gets loose getting down into 1. He gets into Johnson in the 48, and around they go.
And there's nowhere for Kyle Busch to go. He was all the way on the apron.
Whoa, the 2. Did you see Keselowski slalom through there?
He thread the
That
needle.
man has a charmed life.
Well, he's had enough trouble tonight. You know, maybe he can avoid something. Boy, you see here the 14 to Tony Stewart, just loose in right there. Gets up into Jimmy Johnson 48 car. And here comes Kyle with nowhere to go. He probably can't even see Jimmy
Wow.
because of the smoke.
Burton squeaks through.
Boy, Jeff Burton really just squeezed by there. But there's Keselowski on the bottom in that too.
I don't know how he did that.
Told you guys, this is the hardest thing you'll ever see done. That's one of the greatest drivers in the world, Tony Stewart, 3-time champion, just gets loose trying to dig for every inch he could get. And then Brad Keselowski, he never gave up. He never just locked her down and said, I better slow this baby. He drove all the way through that. That's amazing driving under distress situations.
Well, our chances of a brother 1-2 finish are dwindling. You know, of all the great brothers that have been in this sport, the Bushes, the Labonis, the Walters, gosh, the Bouchards. The last time Richmond had 2 brothers finish 1-2 was 1955. Tim Flock was the winner. Brother Foddy finished 2nd. Steve.
Jimmy Fennick tells Carl Edwards to stop just a little bit short in his box. 4 tires, no other adjustments for Carl Edwards in the 99, Matt.
And a 78 of Kurt Busch trying to score a win with the boys from Colorado. At this juncture, no calls for a change on that car, just tires. Meanwhile, Kansas, they are back in this game as well. No chassis adjustments for the pole sitter. Great stop again by the 78 boys.
I got to say, you're right, Matt. That 78 team, they have nailed every pit stop. The critical ones, they've been their best.
Looks like most everyone that hit pit road except Dale Earnhardt Jr. changed 2 tires. Looks like the top 6 drivers stayed out.
Get your 4-leaf clover out, because Brad Keselowski certainly has one, or the Golden Horseshoe, whatever it is. Look at that 2. Outside.
Well, he was on the
Inside.
bottom, headed right for the 18 of Kyle Busch, darted up to the right there and was able to clear the 48 and the 18 and made it through.
Jamie McMurray had tough luck on that stop. He got blocked in getting out by Stewart. And listen to Tony.
Sorry, guys, it was 100% my fault. Will you please go down there and tell the 48 I'm sorry? Take care.
That's Tony Stewart. That's a champion.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he got in too hot. The car got loose. The back end comes around. They make contact. I mean, that's just hard racing. This poor guy. He gets a break on the cone violation on the pit road entrance violation. Gets a break there, but then it's didn't pay off so well. The car, but something's wrong with this car. It was going backwards.
Yeah, he was not gaining ground like the other drivers who took 4 tires.
Right. He just seemed like he was having a problem. I don't know if the tires were too low on air pressure or what, but he was falling back.
Larry, if they've got to cut those brake ducts out of the front, the right front of Kyle Busch's car, what's that going to do to him?
Well, obviously we know how much brakes you use here, and cooling them is pretty important. But I think right now, with roughly less than 70 laps to go, that's not even a concern, or not even worried about it.
And Kyle Busch on pit road has just gone 1 lap down. Let's have an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint. Matt Kenseth has the fastest lap of this race. Get unlimited access to NASCAR and truly unlimited data from Sprint with no metering, no throttling, and no overages while on the Sprint network. Learn more at sprint.com/speed.
Larry, I like what this 18 bunch is doing, though. They did go a lap down, but they're going to stay there and get the car fixed rather than trying to go out and come in, go out and come in. So I think that's a pretty smart move.
Let's go down to Chris Myers for highlights.
quick recap, Mike, and if we talk about Brad Keselowski, he showed his great maneuvering through that wreck. He hit the wall, the 2-4. It was as far back as 30th. Now he's up to 5th. Greg Biffle, problems early. Has never had a short track victory, not figuring in this one tonight. And Kyle Busch, who dominated early with Matt Kenseth, looked like Joe Gibbs Racing and the Toyotas would take care of things, but you saw moments ago what happened with Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he got in a crash. This is a break for this team, though. NASCAR reviewed the film, decided that he did clip that box and kept his position. Ultimately, he couldn't get going on the restart, though. And when Tony Stewart dives in turn 1, gets loose, driving as hard as he could go, gets in 5-time champion Jimmie Johnson, and around they go. Kyle Busch with nowhere to go, but Brad Keselowski made his way through.
So guys with 2 wins this year, Jimmie Johnson and Kyle Busch will not win tonight. At the moment, it looks that way, Mike.
Green flag. Juan Pablo Montoya and Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex. The first 6 drivers stayed out. That includes Mark Martin, Brad Keselowski, and David Reagan.
And they have 6 laps on their tires since they were last on pit road before that caution came out.
Good gamble, Larry?
I think it is, because I think enough stayed out that you can kind of fight those drivers off with 4 tires.
Yeah, you're running out of laps, Mike, so you got to start thinking track position.
66 to go.
Besides
Montoya.
That, if you look back in there, you don't want to be back where these other guys are back here, because they are going crazy back in the pack here.
Kurt Busch coming against Mark Martin, and that is for 5th place. When Pablo Montoya has won at Indianapolis, he's won the Grand Prix of Monaco. He's won on a road course, looking for his first oval track win in the Sprint Cup Series.
Well, Larry, now, both said about Juan, he's been up front. Juan Montoya's been up front all night long. He's had a good car all night long.
You know, there's not a driver in this field that would not love to go to victory lane, but when I look at Montoya in the 42, Truex in the 56, and Kurt Busch in that 78, I'm not sure there's any other drivers than those 3 that would love to go to victory lane tonight.
Montoya has been second 3 times on ovals. And right behind him, Mr. Where did he come from? Kevin Harvick.
Yeah,
Here is Matt Kenseth moving under Keselowski for 5th place.
One thing I've seen, Larry, on these last couple of restarts, 4 tires are really not painted off. Oh, my God.
Kasey Kahne and Mark Martin off turn 2, and then clogs up the back straightaway. Everybody else is going to march through there, and one more caution. Where's that full moon? That's the 9th caution tonight.
Yeah, these restarts late in a race like this are always full of action.
Now, those drivers that stayed out on that last caution, this is not what they want to see. They don't want to see these cautions come.
Mark Martin can't even see. I don't know how he found his pit.
Jeff Burton on the inside of Mark Martin.
Oh, well, Kasey Kahne just come up off the corner, drove into the left rear of the 55 of Mark Martin, and Mark got nailed by the 11 of Brian Vickers, and what a mess. Larry, so it's another one of those nights where Gibbs had it all going his way, and now he's got 2 wrecked race cars.
That's Brian Vickers in that 11 with all that front end damage.
Yeah, he ran into, he drove into the side of Mark. Right there.
How?
Now
Jimmy with left front. And this is with Mark Martin.
The 5, the corner, inside.
Whoa. Boy, Carl Edwards, he got through there. That was another lucky break for him.
And speaking of lucky breaks, guess who gets the free pass and is back on the lead lap? Kyle Busch. They're going to have to improve that car, though. He had fallen way back behind the pack.
Yeah.
On that last restart.
Yeah, he's got, I think, pretty significant damage, just like this 5 car Kasey Kahne does. That thing is pretty banged up.
Well, we're getting into that range where we're going to have about a regular Saturday night short track 50-lap feature left to go here as Kevin Harvick surrenders 2nd place to Pitt. Matt?
2 times a winner here at Richmond, and basically Gil Martin as crew chief and Kevin Harvick went back and forth talking about how many cars may pit, where they may end up. but ultimately it was how many laps left, which are 60. He was too worried, Kevin was, that the car was going to be too free on this run. They're going to tighten him up, Krista.
Brad Keselowski also coming in. There you see the kind of night they've had, but the fact that they are still in there and contending, they came to get those tires on this stop.
So did Jimmy Johnson, so does Mark Martin, but they both have crash damage to repair on this stop. Tony Stewart is in and out. David Reagan gets tires as well. Now after the crash,
yeah, there must have been something else that happened between the 5 and the 55, because that looked pretty aggressive on the Casey's part in the Casey Kane's part in the 5 car there.
and as they came to caution, the 14 of Tony Stewart and the 51 of Allmendinger were not happy with one another either.
The 18 car of Gibbs and the 11 car of Gibbs, and all of a sudden a great night has kind of gone bad again. Kenseth's still running a fourth there in the 20 car.
Lots of damage in these last couple of cautions as we have 59 laps to go. The entire NASCAR family sends heartfelt sympathies to everyone who's been affected by the tragic events both in Boston and those in West Texas. And you can support onefundboston.org to help those who have been affected. That Be Strong logo appearing on the Roush Fenway Fords and other tributes here in the Sprint Cup Series, as folks in New England still very much on our minds, as are those in near Waco, Texas. Mark Martin being pushed into the garage area.
And Mike, we had 11 drivers stayed out. The top two right now, Montoya and Martin Truex Jr., they basically have 10 laps on their tires. The other 9 drivers that stayed out, they have 4 laps on their tires.
Yeah, Larry, I haven't seen the advantage. I don't know if it's air pressure or what it is, but I've seen guys take 4 tires. They can't go anywhere. They get bottled up back into traffic for one thing, but it doesn't seem to be as big an advantage as I thought it would be.
So on this restart, Montoya elects the inside. Martin Truex will be alongside. Row 2, Kurt Busch and Matt Kenseth, the pole sitter. Bowyer and Logano. And there's a look back through the top 10 as we get ready to go back to green. 57 laps to go.
Well, I can assure you one thing, the beating and the banging isn't over with. I don't know about the wrecking, but the beating and banging is going to get worse.
No, the flagmen don't need to put that yellow flag away just yet.
Nice rebound for Joey Logano. He's up there in 6th, side by side with Carl Edwards. And Eric Almirola up to 8th. You're riding with Martin Truex.
Well, I tell you, Martin took a big gamble right there of closing the door on Kurt Busch. That could have been bad. He's doing it again.
And away goes Truex.
I told you that could be bad. Martin closed the door on Kurt going into turn 1, and he did the same thing a little bit going into 3 and didn't get away with that time.
10th caution flag. Kind of like he tugged on Superman's cape.
You have to look at who has the most to lose. I think if we go back and look at turn 1, before we got over to turn 3, I think you'd see that Kurt was probably saying, hey, you know, you're gonna have to give me some room, dude. That's pretty early before we get to turn 3 when he starts to turn down.
Yep.
So
he kept it off the wall, but the other thing, there were a lot of drivers coming his way.
Steve?
Listening to Martin Truex Jr. on the radio, and he said, I was giving him the bottom, but I guess he was too impatient.
Darrell, you're entering that corner at over 130 miles an hour. It doesn't take much.
the worst position you can be in is where Martin Truex was. When the spotter says he's looking, When the spotter says he's looking, but here's what happened. Look, we're going down the front straightaway. 78, Kurt Busch gets a run on the 56, and Martin runs him down the hill. Down, 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 and then just closes the door on Kurt right there. They make a little contact off of 2, and I think that's really kind of what started this whole thing.
2 drivers who probably need a victory as much as anybody in this field.
Well, we talked about those 2 drivers, and then we talked about the driver leading this race right now, Montoya.
NASCAR's green initiative is called the Race to Green, and you can learn more at NASCAR.com/green to donate trees across the country and in areas recently devastated by natural disasters. Might plant a few here in the grass next to the start-finish line, because
got plenty of water.
We've had a couple of unnatural disasters here tonight.
We've had the sprinters. We know we can take care of them.
You know, looking at Montoya again in that 42 car, he has been here in Sprint Cup since 2007. He won the Rookie of the Year that year. As you said, he's won in Formula One. He's won in Indy cars. He has 2 wins in Sprint Cup, both at road courses. I don't know if anybody wants to win on an oval more than Juan Pablo Montoya.
But would you have ever dreamed it would be here tonight? I mean, on the 3/4 mile short track.
Montoya's number 42 was a 100-to-1 long shot in Las Vegas for tonight's race.
He's been pretty dependable tonight, I'll say that.
He and Kurt Busch will line up for the restart. 51 laps to go when they come back to the line. 2 Chevrolets ahead of 2 Toyotas, Kenseth and Boyer. Between them, they've led the most laps tonight. Here we go, green flag.
Fans are on their feet like it's the start of the race.
It's the start of the last 50 laps.
It's the start of the heat race. There they are, 3 wide again down there, 1 and 2.
Look at Joey Logano in that 22 car. That's not going to work. That's what happened a while ago with Truex and with Kurt Busch.
You get that little look on the inside, and you just are so tempted to drive it in there under the guy.
Logano almost got into Clint Boyer.
I think they may have made a little contact, but they were able to hang on to him.
And right behind Logano, Eric Almirola and Jeff Gordon, who faded quickly after starting 3rd, but now has bounced right back to the top 10 to battle with Edwards, Keselowski, and Harvick.
Yeah, you remember earlier when we said the usual suspects had surfaced?
Right.
Well, now we have some unusual suspects that are surfacing.
Almirola's 43 at the head of this pack. His car owner, Richard Petty, has driven those colors and that number to victory lane here at Richmond 13 times. And that's the record.
But you see Joey Logano in the 22. Remember, he had faded almost outside the top 20 not that many laps ago. A little bit of strategy back in the top 10.
47 to go. We're going to take a break, but we're not going away. We're side by side with NASCAR on Fox.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Dale, I got your text that said you couldn't text.
Wait, what? Why would he text that he couldn't text?
I was driving.
Well, why not just not text instead of texting? You can't text.
I didn't text.
It was just a text saying that he couldn't text.
So who actually texted the text that he couldn't text?
Dale.
The Sprint Drive First app blocks and replies to texts while you drive. We can live without the and.
As everybody knows, whenever Carl Edwards wins a race, he does his patented backflip. You ready?
Get down.
I got this.
Whatever.
Okay, Carl. This is for you, racing boy. Hey!
Subway keeps Carl Edwards' engine racing with his low-fat, protein-powered favorite, the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki, made exactly the way he says with spinach, green peppers, and black olives.
I'm gonna jump off the car.
The 2013 Chevy Silverado 1500 has the best pickup coverage in America with a new 2-year, 24,000-mile scheduled maintenance program, a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, and a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. We've got you covered 8 ways to Sunday. Come to think of it, Sunday too. Right now, Chevy truck owners can trade up to a Silverado All-Star Edition and get a total value of $8,500. The dependable, reliable Chevy Silverado.
43 laps to go. Juan Pablo Montoya's last trip to victory lane. Watkins Glen 2010. Trying for his first win on a Sprint Cup oval track race. Leading Kurt Busch. Dover, fall of 2011 was his last chance to hoist the trophy.
Well, that 42 car, I've heard that whole team, and Felix Sabates said on the radio this past week, if we could just quit beating ourselves, we got the car to get the job done, and tonight they're proving it.
Behind those two, the drivers who have led a combined 253 laps battle for third. That's pole sitter Matt Kenseth and Clint Bowyer.
Well, the 42 of Montoya and the 78 of Kurt Busch, they have been at the front of the field all night long.
Right behind Clint Bowyer, boy, we had quite a battle for fifth with Kevin Harvick in the 29. He just went by Logano for the 22. That was for fifth.
Eric Almirola right there with him in the 43. And a nice rebound for Jeff Gordon, who was back in the high 20s at one point in this race. Carl Edwards 9th, Keselowski 10th. 28 cars on the lead lap. Krista.
Mike, when our race started, I know you guys were talking about the adversity that Jeff Gordon overcame here at Richmond last year. Well, he's overcome some adversity tonight as well. They've made many changes. At one point, they were putting spring rubbers in, taking them out, and then putting them back in the other side. So it's been a night of patience and perseverance for Jeff Gordon.
You know, guys, Kevin Harvick in that 29 just drove by Clint Bowyer in the 15 like he was tied. Now he zeroes in on Matt Kenseth in the 20. Harvick has the freshest tires of any of these drivers here. He was on pit road on that 9th caution.
And he's got plenty of time, Larry. 38 laps to go. Harvick is 1.9 seconds back of race leader Juan Montoya.
Yeah, and I think that the guys in front here, 42 Montoya, 78 Kurt Busch, they must know he's coming because Kurt has turned it up. Kurt just picked up 2/10 on Montoya last time by.
There it is. Full moon Saturday night, 10 caution flags tonight. Battle for third, side by side. Harvick inside of Matt Kenseth and moves past with ease.
Well, there's another team, the 29 team. Talked to Richard Childress last week. Said if the 29 had quit beating themselves, we could win a race. Might be tonight.
But this is so neat. They're still racing like nothing is different. We know Kevin Harvick will be leaving there at the end of this season.
But there are 3 guys in the front of the field right now, Larry, that all desperately need wins. I mean, they'd love to have a win here tonight. And just a great finish for a couple of them.
Montoya and Harvick equal lap times last time by. Mid-2280s.
I think, Larry, this is a point where those fresher tires on that 29, as we get with about 20 to go, could be the difference.
Well, I think Kevin Harvick wants to see this race stay green right now with 34 laps to go.
Yeah, I say when we get down to 20 to go, I think those fresher tires are really going to start to show up. I'm watching the 78 car, Kurt Busch. He has got that thing hung out almost off of both turns, Matt.
He's doing all he can do, DW, and his spotter, Rick Corelli, just told Kurt that the 29 of Harvick is coming about a 10th, a second a lap faster than you are at this point, and he's got fresher tires. And Kurt simply said dejectedly, "You're kidding, right?"
Well, don't get it, man. This is when that spotter and that crew chief and everybody got to get up on the bandwagon, man. Pump him up. You can do it. You got the car. You can hold him off. You're a champion.
Guys, if we stay green, I get a feeling that our leaders may start catching some lap traffic. That could play a big role in the outcome of this race.
And the first car they'll catch will be Kyle Busch. He got back on the lead lap, but could not move forward.
And I think that's a thing that happens. Got a race here for 4th place. Matt Kenseth's into 20, and he's going to, I don't know if Bowyer's going to be able to slide by into 15 or not. But this is when the team gotta pump that driver up. Come on, man. Get up on the wheel.
Darrell, it just appears, though, Mike Joy asked me at the top of the show about transitioning into the cooler night temperatures. It just appears that Jason Ratcliffe and Matt Kenseth, that 20 team, they just didn't keep up with this racetrack.
Kevin Harvick is coming as the laps wind down. 30 to go in Richmond.
Let's go places. Not just the ones you can find on a map, but the ones you can find in your heart. Because inspiration doesn't favor those who sit still. It dances with the daring and rewards the courageous with ideas. Ideas that inspire. Ideas that take you places you never imagined. Ideas big enough to make the heart skip a beat. And in some cases, maybe two. Toyota, let's go places.
And those are the highlights from the race at Fontana, where things got a little heated between two of the top drivers.
This is gonna be a long trip.
You guys want a Coke?
Yeah. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming.
So do you guys think being fast is better than being slow?
Yes! It's better to be fast, to not be bitten by a werewolf, and then you'll be turned into one, and you'll have to stay in, and then you'll have to get shade because you'll be too hot, and then you're like, which means I wish I was back to a human.
What?
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network for your iPhone 5.
25 laps to go. It's a long way to Richmond in September, but this race could have chase implications. All three of the top three, and there you see them as Kevin Harvick closes in on Kurt Busch. None of them are in the top 10 in points. A win tonight could loom large in who gets one of those two wild card spots.
Yeah, I'm watching the three of them, and the 29 car of Kevin Harvick is smooth as silk, like it's on a rail. The 78 of Kurt Busch, he has got his hands full just trying to keep up with Montoya and hold off Kevin Harvick.
And they keep closing in on lap traffic now with less than 25 laps to go. Montoya, what I've seen, Darrell, he has hit his marks every single corner of every single lap since that last race.
And Larry, winning is contagious. And when you go for a long time and you don't win, you have so much doubt in your mind. And that's something he's got to put out of his mind right now and focus.
Series champ Brad Keselowski has dropped a cylinder. He's trying to make it to the finish. He was running just outside the top 10, but he's now down to 26, trying to hang on to the lead lap and nurse that car home for another 22 laps.
You can see there how much the RPM is down. NASCAR's actually told him he needs to pick the speed up.
And they are black flagging Keselowski. NASCAR has a minimum lap time that must be met at each track so that the car is not a hazard to navigation. They're going to black flag Keselowski off the track.
I think with those fresher tires that Kevin Harvick has and that 29, Juan Pablo Montoya's best friend right now is Kurt Busch in that 78. He needs Kurt Busch to really battle Harvick hard, and I don't think he'll have no problem doing that.
No, I don't either. I mean, right now with the situation we're in here with tires the way they are, the 29 is the man.
Now time for our sprint. 20 to go here in Richmond. 10 caution flags, 66 laps, 5 different leaders, and 7 lead changes. Second place may change right here as Harvick dives underneath Kurt Busch. Harvick with 11 lap fresher tires than Busch, and he moves to second behind Juan Pablo Montoya. 94 races since his last Sprint Cup victory as he works a little race traffic here. Harvick has worked hard to get into the top 5 and now in a position to close. He started 17th tonight. And Kurt Busch started 14, 50 races since he's been to victory lane. And a strong shot tonight.
Yeah.
But that's our sprint 20 to go.
Kurt just used it up. I've been watching him. He was trying so hard to get up there to get after Montoya in the 42. He just burnt the right rear off of his car.
And Darrell, right now, Kevin Harvick in that 29, he's beaten Montoya in the 42 about a 10th a lap. 17 to go.
And all three of these drivers are known for aggressive tendencies on the racetrack. They'll hold nothing back to get this win.
Kyle Busch in the 18, he didn't just roll over. He still was on the lead lap trying to stay there. Should a caution come out.
The car's pretty banged up. But Kyle trying to do all he can to salvage a decent finish. He's 26th now, a lap down. And didn't give Harvick a whole lot of room there coming off turn number 4. So Montoya gets about 0.6 of a second of breathing room over the second place car. 15 to go.
And that's huge right there with 15 to go. That opened that gap back up to where Harvick is really going to have to do something special to catch Montoya.
And Kyle Busch raced Kevin Harvick pretty hard all the way through 1 and 2.
The difference here, though, Darrell, is Harvick's tires are 30 laps fresher than Montoya's.
Yeah, but I'm watching that 42 car, and like Larry said, that thing is flawless. It doesn't drive like a car that's got older tires on it.
Just saw Chris Heroy, Montoya's crew chief, moved over from Hendrick Motorsports at the beginning of last year. This would be his first career win as a crew chief in Sprint Cup.
Rookie Timmy Hill moved out of the way for both the two leaders.
And Larry, this is about the time in a relationship between a driver and a crew chief, whether it's Joey Logano and his crew chief, or Heroy and Montoya here. This is when you start to click. This is when you kind of learn each other. Learn your language. Learn how to speak to each other.
All right, last lap, Harvick was a 1/10 of a second better. This time by 1/2 tenth better. Edging up on Montoya with 12 to go.
And Montoya has had speed all year long. But if something could happen to a race car this year, it has happened to Montoya and that 42 team.
What you're holding your breath for right now, if you're Montoya, is no caution.
Well, and strange things happen. Last week, the taillight panel came off the car, caused a late caution. Oh, look at Jimmy Johnson. Part of that rear bumper cover.
Yeah, that's almost about half of it hanging off. As long as it doesn't start coming loose more and more, I don't think there will be a problem with that. We're going to have 10 laps to go here.
Yeah, Larry, that 48 car, just a quick point. When they don't qualify well, I know they work their way up through the field, but on a short track, when you don't qualify well, you end up looking like this when the night's over with.
6th place. Great run for Jeff Burton tonight, challenging Joey Logano in the 22.
I'm sure Richard Childress is pretty happy. Both cars, all his cars are running pretty good tonight.
Yep, looks like he's going to get at least a top 5 and a top 10. But who's going to win it? Harvick now 4/10 back, 1/2 tenth quicker than Montoya on that lap.
And more lap traffic, a lot of lap traffic, as they'll be coming around to 8 laps to go. Harvick about 2 car lengths back.
That lap traffic is going to be, well, the 93 was able to move out of the way. That's going to help a lot. Popple there, he pulled down, let both cars go. Good job on his part.
Now just ahead, Casey Mears, who's 4 laps down. Then Yaley, then Patrick. And the next lead lap car they'd catch would be Casey Kane, who's pretty well out of harm's way.
Well, it's been quite a while since we called him the closer, but he's going to have to get on with it if he's going to be the one to do it tonight. That's Kevin Harvick.
He's at least going to be close.
Yeah, these 6.5 laps, they will go by in a hurry.
Montoya stepped it up. He was a 10th quicker than Harvick this lap.
Yeah, that 42 car is Montoya. I don't think Kevin can get there. I did for a while, but I don't think he can make it now.
Now, I would hope David Stremme, that 30 car, 4 laps down, I would hope he will yield.
The 11.
Oh, and he didn't.
Might have bounced off the wall at turn 2, but keeps going. Not a problem there.
Stremme was pretty hard. Oh, we got a car in the wall.
And he's in the wall now at turn 3.
Caution's up high, caution's out, caution's out.
That was not what Montoya wanted to see.
I saw him bounce off the wall at turn 2 and keep going but Brian Vickers' car would not steer going into turn 3. And he's against the fence.
Just calm down. We got this. We got this.
So it will be a drag race as we're at 5 laps to go. And they may have just a little cleanup to do for this.
1-5. Keep it up there. Hold it up there. Hold it up.
That was a hard lick.
It really was. He hit that wall, and his car's still sitting there in the middle of the racetrack. Look at all that damage to the right front. It killed that thing.
Pit road closed. And you see a little reaction from Montoya as he comes to the caution flag.
Oh, man. He says, that can't be happening to me again.
And Darrell, don't you think it's safe to say with the cleanup that they have left down there in turn 3 and 4, Brian Vickers, this is going to put us into probably a green-white checkered. It's going to be all about the restart.
And you know who's sitting in a pretty good spot? I always like the guy sitting third.
Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch. Because on this racetrack, the way this front straightaway is, you can dive bomb down into turn 1, and you can make it.
Maybe everybody can't.
The guy on the inside can make it.
All right, pit road will open this time as they clean up the racetrack. Will Montoya pit?
Oh, I don't.
Will Harvick pit? Oh, yes.
Oh, my. That is shocking. Shocking.
Krista?
Unbelievable tension in the 42 pit, and it has been for these last few laps. They just thought they would get eaten up if they stayed out there on that restart. Chris Heroy, the crew chief, said, I think we have to come. Juan wanted to stay out, but he said, you know what? I'm going to let you make the call. Chris said, I think we have to come. Matt?
And that's the same strategy for the 29 of Harvick and the 78 of Kurt Busch. Both felt like that at this point of the race, they knew what fresh tires had done for their cars, and they would be sitting ducks knowing so many cars were going to hit pit road.
Well, Jeff Burton stayed out. So did McMurray and Allmendinger. Everybody else came to pit road.
Man.
Juan Montoya, I think, had this race won. Had we stayed green, Kevin Harvick had closed in, but Montoya was able to edge away, and I think could have held Harvick off for the final 5 laps. Harvick has a close call getting around Logano, getting out of his pit. Whoa, and missing Tony Stewart. Been a lot of close calls tonight. So now, as we often say on Short Track Saturday night, this changes everything.
Yeah, you know, if I'm going to come, and I think track position is pretty important, I would only taken 2 tires and got myself back out there. Some of the guys took 4. We'll see how that works out. But I haven't seen 4 tires be that good on these restarts.
But I think with as many laps that those 3 drivers that stayed out, I think they are absolutely going to be in the way. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of the way of those drivers that have those 4 fresh tires. This restart, hold on, it's going to be big.
Oh, it's going to be big, but I'm just saying, I always feel like track position is king when you come down to a green-white checkered, because you don't know what's going to happen behind you, and I bet something happens behind you.
And Chris, earlier tonight, the drivers who stayed out and didn't take tires were able to scoot away. We'll see.
Part of the strategy we'll keep an eye on. A quick recap if you tuned in a little bit late. Some headline drivers with 74 laps to go. Tony Stewart apologized, said, my fault. You see Jimmy Johnson has won twice already this year involved. So was Kyle Busch. And look at working his way through Brad Keselowski, but not much of a factor in the race tonight. And then this moments ago, Mark Martin looked like Casey Kennedy had something going on.
Yeah, they came off turn 2 and just ran out of room, and really hard to get off turn 2 when you don't get hit, especially when there's a little contact.
But this is really the first attempt, as the last caution that came out moments ago.
Juan Montoya had this race won. I agree with the booth. He was going to drive away from Harvick, and you can see right here, crew chiefs really stressed about the caution.
Let's listen into the radio chatter.
You did the right thing right here, because the 14 will come out second. We'll be able to start on the bottom. Good work.
94 races since the last victory for Juan Pablo Montoya, making Columbia proud so far tonight. And as Mike Choi mentioned earlier, you could bet in Las Vegas 100 to 1, a long shot to win this race. He hasn't won it yet and looked like he had it won, but now he's in some trouble here.
Oh man, this restart's going to be amazing. This is our first attempt at overtime. You can have 3 attempts at it. I know we're going to have 2. There's no way that these cars on the front row can hold off the guys that got 2 tires, and then those guys are going to have challenges holding off the guys with 4. You can't run as many laps as Burton, McMurray, and Allmendinger have run and hold off new tires.
And you have Carl Edwards, if you remember, he dominated, led more than 200 laps in this race last year, didn't win because he jumped a restart, also affected Tony Stewart back in that race.
Yeah, when they go down into turn 1, it's all bets off on this start. Carl Edwards remembers last year clearly close to having a victory. He's got a chance to redeem himself here. Chris, I'm a big race fan, and it doesn't get any better than this. Short track racing on a Saturday night, a NASCAR Sprint Cup win hangs in the balance, and you've got 3 laps to win it. Amazing.
And you have a full moon, as they've been keeping an eye on, even if there are some clouds muddying the picture. You know, it's interesting. Juan Pablo Montoya said after Kansas last week, we're fast. We just have to eliminate mistakes. You thought maybe that was just a guy being optimistic, but they've been fast. They've eliminated mistakes, and until this caution, he was that close to victory. Yeah, he and his teammate both. Jamie McMurray has been really strong this year. They decided to roll the dice here and start on the outside of front row. But I've been impressed all year long with this Chip Ganassi team with Felix Sabates. The cars are indeed fast, and tonight it looked like if it hadn't been for a crash by Brian Vickers, they had it all worked out. And of the drivers in the top 7, only Carl Edwards has won this year. Some of the streaks, how long it's been for guys. You see Bobby Jeff Burton, a Virginia native. Mark Martin certainly in that mix. We've talked about Montoya and Jamie McMurray, who is currently second, part of that Chip Ganassi Racing. Already tonight we've seen some mini streaks stop. Kyle Busch, 4 straight wins here in the spring. The pole sitter has won the last 3 races. Matt Kenseth would have to rally to try to continue that. Don't you love how the complexion of these things change? At first it looked like it was going to be a Joe Gibbs Racing night, and now they're nowhere to be found. Let's listen in on Jeff Burton and some radio chatter.
It's what you made of here, Jeff, buddy. You can do it, man. You can do it.
Richard Childress chatting.
Yeah, that's just a guy that knows how to get things done. These guys have won races and planning on winning another one right here. But the challenge is great, Chris. I just don't see it happening. I don't see how that front row can hold off the guys that are going to be charging on them. Even just getting a start, getting the power down with used tires is going to be a challenge. They spin their tires, they'll be 3 and 4 wide down into 1. You watch. I'm going to get Michael Waltrip a decaf for the finish here. Mike Joy, let's go back upstairs.
Thanks, Chris. Jeff Burton has finished second 6 times since his last win. That was Charlotte, October 2008, 157 races ago. First attempt at a green-white checker, and here's the dilemma. Burton, McMurray, and Allmendinger, their tires are 60 laps older than what's on Carl Edwards, Tony Stewart, and Juan Montoya's cars. Montoya, unfortunately, has to start on the outside. If he were on the inside, we'd probably see him 6 wide into turn 1.
To Darrell's point, Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart, they went with just 2 right side tires.
I like that gamble. They are setting in the best place, I think. But keep an eye on McMurray. You know, all we got to do is get around here one time, get the white flag, and then if something happens, the race is over. So you're really thinking about getting to the white flag without a caution.
After the white flag, the next flag ends the race. So here they come. Jeff Burton, Jamie McMurray, 2 Chevrolets. In front of Allmendinger, Edward Stewart, trying to thread the middle and make a hole where none exists.
There goes Carl on the outside. He's got a nice run.
How about Kevin Harvick in that 29? Now that's his teammate he's chasing.
McMurray got caught out, but way up the hill. Here they come to turn 3, looking for the white flag. Off of 4 on the outside, Harvick with the lead. Burt Boyer into turn 1 for the final time. Logano and Carl Edwards, Montoya 6th. 1 car high, Kyle Busch, no problem. Here they come to turn 3.
You ought to see what's going on. They're everywhere.
And Harvick's got the field in his mirror. The closer, Kevin Harvick, wins Richmond.
Nice job, young man. Good job.
Way to go, boys. Finally, we got it right. Good job, guys.
Well, there's a mess going on back here.
Tony Stewart getting up and against Kurt Busch.
A lot of emotion here, a lot of temper, a lot of emotion.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of aggression.
This is typical Richmond.
Yep, typical short track racing. They start with their tempers and fenders intact. And one man gets to burn down the house.
This little deal here, it's not over just yet.
But it's okay. Look, they've been rubbing all night long. What's a little rubbing after the race? They're not hurting anything.
Yeah, Tony Stewart restarted up in the top 5, unofficially finishes 18th.
Let's see what happens here.
Took Stewart out of the groove.
Yeah, he got up underneath him, pushed him up the hill, and when he did, everybody went by.
Cost him 4 or 5 spots there. Now here's Kenseth on the outside, tries to come down track.
He gets
get to the back bumper.
No harm, no foul right there. He did get into Allmendinger. I mean, Matt was like, I'm coming through, get out of the way. Now right here, he pushes Kurt up out the, there's where he pushed Kurt up out the groove.
And he gets 7th while Kurt ends up 9th behind Almirola.
Kurt didn't like that. He goes down here and gives the 20 car a little shot. That's okay.
Yeah, that's
I didn't like what you did, but that's okay.
Well, we know one man's happy. Happy Harvick. he will go to victory lane for Richard Childress and Chevrolet.
Congratulations there, Happy Harvick.
Tony Stewart telling Kurt Busch to deal with it. Meisters, get your arm down. We're trying to watch. Welcome to the Sprint post-race show. Some people angry, but Kevin Harvick, who was 7th on the restart, smiling as he gets his first victory of this season, and Chris Tavoda is there for the celebration.
Kevin Harvick has been to victory lane many times in his career, but there is something that feels different about this one.
Well, I just want to thank everybody first. It's been a tough start to the season. The cars have been really fast. Got to thank Bell Helicopter, Budweiser, Jimmy John's Dream, Chevrolet, Bad Boy Buggies, Akuma Realtree, everybody who participates in this car. Richard Childress, you know, a lot of people thought we might lay down this year, and there ain't no lame in that game, is there? It's I want to say happy birthday to a good friend of mine, 70th birthday, Ken Small at home celebrating. So great night.
You addressed it. Yeah, the phrase lame duck has been used before. There's certainly nothing laying down tonight, but you guys had to make a decision there when that caution came out whether to stay out or come in for the tires. I guess you guys made the right choice.
Yeah, it all worked out. Sprint Cup racing is something that you got to take chances, and the guys that stayed out took chances. We had to take chances, but we've been beat by tires a couple times this year, and I thought it was the right thing to do, and Gil made the right call, and it all worked out.
Took chances indeed. The fastest lap for Kevin Harvick tonight just happened to be the last one. His first win of 2013. It's a good night in Richmond for Kevin Harvick. Matt Yoakum?
Krista, opinions expressed out on the racetrack carried over here in the garage. And Kurt, your conversation between yourself and Tony Stewart, what took place?
We'll get to that in a minute. I mean, for us, this was a solid run with our Furniture Row car. We were there. We were top 5 all night. Some guys cycled ahead of us. Some guys, we were able to get back by on long runs. So all in all, a great night for us to be in the top 5, have restarts up front, and lead some laps. And then you could just tell. I mean, green, white checker, everybody's going to put on tires. Some guys are going to do 2. Some guys stayed out. And it's just a free-for-all. I mean, there's rubber buildup in the outside groove. There's cars sliding up with old tires. So I don't know what the 14 was upset about. I got hit from behind. I got hit every which way. So did he. Kenseth moved us up out of the way at the end, so that's why I was upset with him. But, hey, everybody's free-for-all. We got a top 10. But the biggest thing here is 10 laps ago, this car didn't have a scratch on it. Now it's destroyed.
When you look at this race today, what are you going to take away as you continue to build with this entire operation?
Just being able to work together through sequences of the race. And today, we didn't quite have the best handling car, but we worked with it in the top 5, and we hoped that the race would come to us. Today, it just didn't pan out. But today was a great day to be in the top 5, posted a top 10, and we got to go for wins. That's where we're going to be able to make the chase and be in the top 20 in points.
Kurt Busch, 9th here in Richmond. Steve?
Matt, thanks very much with Juan Pablo Montoya. And Juan, it just looked like, I guess all you can do is laugh. It looked like it was your race to win.
Yeah, we had we made the right call when we pitted and when we stayed out and everything. But, we got that caution at the end, and it was no-brainer to take tires. And I think what hurt us is we restarted on the outside. And when you restart on the outside and people got really bad tires, everything packs up. And you can't, when you're on the outside, you can't really, where are you going to jump? When you're in the inside, you can just jump to the guys. And what Harvick did. And when Harvick went by, I tried to get to the bottom, and then the 22 was there, and I said, we just got to get a finish. Remember before this, we had 6 really bad weeks. So I thought everybody in the Penn Chevy this week did an amazing job, and I'm just really proud of the guys.
When the caution flag came out, what were you thinking?
I said, really? Really?
Thank you, Juan.
Well, we know Shakira was rooting for you no matter what. Juan Pablo Montoya, tough break there. Only 4 laps led the entire season for Kevin Harvick, but he's in victory lane. We'll have more on the Sprint post-race show. We're live in Richmond, Virginia. The Sprint post-race show continues. NASCAR on Fox in Richmond, Virginia, where Kevin Harvick, the closer from nowhere to victory lane, and his celebration continues as Michael Waltrip. Chris Myers, welcome you back to look at the unofficial results that have come in. And Clint Boyer, another strong short track finish for Michael Waltrip Racing.
What about Joey Logano? Fought his way to a 3rd place finish. Good solid run for him. Love to see what Carl Edwards and Eric Almirola did. Good solid finishes for those teams.
Matt Kenseth led the most laps, 140. He's your lap leader for the entire season so far, but no victory. Jeff Gordon finishes at 11th, and at 18, I did want to mention that Tony Stewart, we were attempting to get a comment from him. He hustled away on his golf cart before he would do an interview tonight.
And Bobby Labonte and David Reagan, both top 20 finishes for those teams. Those are great results for those smaller teams. Casey Kane had some trouble all night long. David Rudeman, another small team that chases his way to a 22nd place finish.
And Kyle Busch had that string of 4 straight wins here in the spring race and led for a while in this race, led for 40 laps, but had problems.
Remember Jamie McMurray, the risk of staying out on those older tires, started second, finished 26. 2 laps he went from second to 26.
And you saw Brian Vickers in the 11 car for Denny Hamlin. But for Clint Boyer, Mr. Short Track hanging in there, finishing second behind that man, Kevin Harvick. Steve Burns caught up with Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer, tell us about your night tonight.
Yeah, it was good early. We were just too tight on the throttle. It just wouldn't rotate quite good enough. But we had a great car. It was a good night. It was a lucky finish. I was lucky that I was on the bottom. I just kind of followed suit. I knew with those, cars on old tires right there, all hell was going to break loose. And I was right. It did. It did break loose. I was lucky enough to be on the bottom, like I said. The 51 dove low, and I was like, oh, they're 3 wide already. And then Harvick got down there, and they all washed up. But second place is good. Obviously, a little bit frustrated. We were really, really solid all weekend long, and I thought we had a shot at it going in. But at first laps on the racetrack, I was like, uh-oh, we're not turning good enough. And eventually, everybody got their cars a little bit better, was able to, surpass us a little bit. But, hey, I'll take second any day. Good job.
And went from there to the podium behind the winner, Kevin Harvick. 113 laps led for Clint Boyer. And Michael talked about Joey Logano. Again, that appeal comes up on Wednesday for Penske Racing. Joey part of that with Brad Keselowski, and checking the points through 9 races, Michael. So this is a quarter of the season, 17 races until the chase, and Jimmy Johnson actually widens his points lead a little bit.
Yeah, Boyer up into the top 5, and Brad Keselowski, who's in 6th, will be really curious about the outcome of that appeal, whether he can stay in the top 10 in points or not.
Jamie McMurray had a shot at victory late tonight at the 12th spot. You see Kenseth, again, those points deducted. That 50 took him out of playoff chase contention. Remember, he loses the pole and the bonus points for that second win at Kansas until that appeal is heard. NASCAR on Fox continues on the Sprint post-race show from Richmond, Virginia. Some final thoughts from your winner, Kevin Harvick, and our guys in just a moment. Sprint post-race show, and thanks for staying up late with us. And NASCAR on Fox, Saturday night primetime racing. And it was very unusual, the course of events throughout the evening. It looked like Montoya was going to win it. Harvick closes after earlier when Matt Kenseth dominated. Coming up next on Fox, late local news for most. And then it's Ben and Kate, Fox Late Nights. And next Saturday, Major League Baseball on Fox. enjoy among the games the Nationals and the Pirates, Cardinals, Brewers, Derek Manning's Orioles against the Angels. He directs our, not his, they're really Buck Showalter's Orioles, but he directs our pre-race show. He's a big Oriole fan. And then next Sunday at noon Eastern, the 1-hour pre-race show. Grab onto your restrictor plate, Michael Waltrip, because it's Talladega. Brad Keselowski took the lead from Kenseth, the 2 to go last year. Remember that great move? And ended up getting the victory last year.
You never know what's going to happen at Talladega. Heck, last fall, I was trying to pass for the lead on the last lap when we got together with Tony Stewart. Big crash, but that's what you get at Talladega. You position yourself. You think tonight was crazy, which it was? Wait till you tune in next Sunday afternoon and watch us run nearly 200 miles an hour in a pack of 30 or 40 cars.
And Kevin Harvick does have a win at Talladega. Remember that happened in 2010, so he'll be going back to a place where he could have success. Victory Lane over on Speed has more coverage from Richmond here tonight. So Kevin Harvick with his first victory of the year. Still you have Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, and Kyle Busch, who have 2 wins after 9 races. The quarter mark of the season will move toward that second quarter next Sunday at Talladega once again, noon Eastern. We hope you join us then. For Michael Waltrip, Daryl, Larry, Mike, Steve, Krista, Jeff, and Matt, I'm Chris Myers. Thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox.